And we're live. All right.
Fantastic.
Good afternoon, world. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. And yeah, this is how we start the show. It's Sunday, every Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, and we're here to talk our hearts out, like we always do on this Sunday afternoon. Yeah. First of all, may I just start by saying my apologies, okay, about last weekend. I know Bakazia and Bachanda was very angry with me last weekend, but there are those weekends, like a Sunday when Arsenal is playing, I can't help myself. I have to go join my pips. But hey, we do this every Sunday at 2 o'clock Eastern Time. This is Kalinda Shichinda out here in Indianapolis. And yeah, come on, people, let's go. We have some interesting topics to talk about today. And maybe before we do that, how about we bring in Bachufia, our resident PS. I have my pips here. Oh, my cousin here, Humphrey in Mazabuka. And of course, my other Belula, Mitch. All right, people, go ahead and introduce yourself. And yeah,
Just started
so
talking about me.
all
Just
right,
started
so
talking.
here,
My cousin Humphrey Chile in Mazapo.
yes, cousin.
You didn't hear.
Yeah, hold on, thoughts, cousin. Hold on.
She's in USA.
Yeah, hold on. Let me mute him first. All right, people, go ahead with your introduction, and as you know, just let's be mindful when people are talking. Let's mute ourselves so we can all be heard. Okay, so let's go back to Lufia.
Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Of course, my name is Chanda Chilufia, uh, and I'm broadcasting live from Ontario, Canada. And we welcome you to this podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Of course, people are busy and they're doing family stuff, but you take your time, 20, 30 minutes, 1 hour, and contribute to this, beautiful a conglomerate that we have here to, discuss issues of national importance. And yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Like I said, the name is Chanda Chilufia, and we welcome you, everybody that's watching, listening from all around Africa, the world, the globe. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Our resident PS, please join. Come in. Give us your babuzelas here.
Well, I'm Kazia Chanda. I am broadcasting from New Brunswick, Canada, and I wish to, just welcome everybody, joining us today.
Great. Lady Sarah, look who's here. Oh, she's right on time, ready to go. Lady Sarah, go ahead with your introduction.
Yeah, my name is Sarah. I'm in Seattle right now, Washington State, and welcome everyone to the program. Thank you.
Great. How about Meech? Come in here with your introduction as well.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Micheal Sata, and I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana. In fact, I'm happy to see everyone here. I'm one of the earliest birds today. Usually, I come in towards the end of the program, so somehow I was like, "Whoa, let me not miss this tonight." So I kind of jumped in. I may be jumping in and out. I'm on call from work, so I may be getting some phone calls from time to time. So let's see how that goes.
All right. Yeah, you know what? We love that. And finally, let me have the pleasure of introducing to you my cousin in Mazabuga, Humphrey Gile. Yeah, from my mother's side. So when you guys are talking about Lugwalo, these are the people that made that place famous. I think it's
Thank you.
yes, Kaze. Thanks for joining
Yes,
us.
cousin, I'm listening. Yes.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right, people. Let's go. We have a lot of topics to talk about today, and my. I mean, I don't know. Let's start with this one on the sixth president. Edgar Chagolung. I mean, there are so many angles to him this week, but anyone can pick up which side they want to talk about on this one. So essentially, to me, I think the most important that came out of his mouth this week is his confession to the rest of us, letting us know that he has paid out people at the Electoral Commission that tells him information about the ins and outs of how to rig an election in Zambia. And apparently they went to him. They don't understand how they lost 2021 elections. Who does that? So shall we start with the how about let's start with you, Mitch. Your view on the revelation by the sixth president on
Can I say something?
Yeah, hold a second.
Yeah, Sister
yeah.
Karinda, I think you're like, I don't know if it's me having the problem. You're like, there are times that your projection is, your sound is okay, and then it goes like faint a little bit. So I don't know.
Okay, everyone, are you having issues with my audio?
Yes, you are a bit faint.
I'm a bit faint. Okay.
Yeah. It's like somehow you are looking somewhere and then the projection comes in and we can't get you very clearly, and we cannot contribute effectively to something that we are not sure of what we are listening to.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Let me do something with my audio. Just a second. But actually, maybe as I play around here with my
I don't know. Can you guys hear me correctly today? Like, how's my sound today?
Very clear.
You sound okay so far.
So far. So anyway, I think let's continue the program. If my sound is okay, let's talk about of course Vachangwa, former president, the sixth president, and I think we need to really analyze certain things about Vachangwa. He's a former head of state, sixth president. And mostly we should give him the respect that he deserves. But he doesn't want to receive those flowers. Okay? It's more like an athlete. You're a good athlete and you're good and what you do, well, it's a bad example, an analogy, but get the flowers while you can get them, or retire while people are clapping. Where he is right now, he's at a stage where he's just doing things for just doing them because he wants to save himself. He wants to save his family from going to jail. And every time he opens his mouth, it's something bad. He never says anything nice. Okay? I was just watching the interview that he did with a program with Bamwamba. If you look at that program, if you watch that program, he started opening up, and the more if you talk about Muntu, you shoot yourself in the foot. He was simply saying, like, look, in the Electoral Commission of Zambia, I have top officials that I had that were working for me. And they were very, very sure that we were going to win these elections. And when we lost, they came to me and said, how did we lose? Okay. And then he was like, oh, I don't know. He's like, you look, as a president, why should you have officials on your payroll? Okay. Why should you have officials on your payroll working for you in the Electoral Commission of Zambia? The people of Zambia. So meaning that, look, that's what I was saying, like, look, if 2.8 million people voted for our beloved President HH. In fact, it should have been more than that. It should have been more than that on real terms, in terms of minus the manipulation, minus the influence, and minus those people that were working for one so-called Chagwalungu, according to his own mouth. This is just a tip. I'm just, just let everybody know. I mean, everybody can chime in. I don't know if Vasera, what you want to say about this?
What is so surprising about that disclosure? I think this is something that is in the public domain, that Edgar Chagwalungu and his his unit, the PF, had actual PF vigilantes in top positions in the Electoral Commission, in the police department, in the courts. What do you call this? The con court. Those are his people. I don't think it's even surprising that he says something like that. And I think he knows very well that even disclosing something like that is not going to cause any strife in the country, or people be like, oh my gosh, wow, because they know that is just the truth. So I think we should just believe that this whole thing was so contaminated to a point where all we should do is to have the president trying to page some of these people, or most of these people, even all of them, and just restart anew, like reforming some of these institutions. ACC, that particular, the Electoral Commission, and DEC, whatever you call them, police, all these people, they are all infiltrated by the PF. This is not even surprising. This is something that's been public out there. I don't think it's newsworthy, honestly, for him to say that, and for us to sit down and even figure out why would he say that. He's saying that because it's the truth. And this man goes to all these meetings drunk, to tell you the truth, and he's disgruntled to the point where he feels like, I'm just gonna say whatever I can say and it's fine. There's no question. Every single one of us sitting here, or even people that know in the our party, they know very well that the Concord is all a PF stooge. Not very long ago, they were saying some of these judges knew very well 2016 or 15, whatever time elections. I even forgot when we had that elections. We won that election, but they switched it out. We all knew that. But now we have a chance to clean that whole thing up. If we have to have a better institutions, all these institutions need to be completely paged off and just start all over.
Fantastic. Well, I think Wakazia is itching to contribute on this one. I want to listen to what Wakazia has to say on this one. If he's got the courage.
You are doubting my courage, sure,
He's always courageous. Mr. Kazia, I missed you.
I miss you too. I have no fear of contradiction. When you talk about the paging, who is Dona Makidora Chipenzi? Who is Mwangala Zoromis? Are they not UPND cadres? Where are they? Are they not at Electoral Commission?
No, we're talking about now. We're talking about the ECZ of yesterday, not now.
No, listen. You are talking about even the ECZ for now. It is run by cadres, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Have things changed? I'm asking you, but God was even wanting to be a member of parliament under UPND ticket. There are photos of everywhere where Mwangala Zoromis was in the UPND regarding and is running the Electoral Commission. You see, when you want to cast a log out of people's eyes, when you want to cast a spark and then you have a log in your eyes, it's not right. If we want these constitutions to be run independently, both PF cadres and UPND cadres should be never near Electoral Commission of Zambia. It doesn't suit you here now that now we start preaching that no, these are best page them. Who are we paging? And by the way, you must understand that when PF are Zambians, UPND are Zambians, everyone is a Zambian. What we should not be talking about are cadres. You know, very well. And number two, ECO has a right to speak in the way he wants to speak. It's a fundamental right. Now, you want to condemn him for speaking what he wants to speak because you don't agree with it, and yet you here, you are able to speak the way you want to speak. And people must respect your opinions. It is not right, man. You know very well. What is
Vakasiya.
it?
Vakasiya.
No, I want to be very,
Vakasiya.
you say, Ukulala de Chintu, whatever nobody should have now, if you say, it's not right. You have not said anything.
Vakasiya.
I have come gun blazing today. Let's go.
Vakasiya.
My one.
Vakasiya. The ECO is a former president. He is supposed to be the father of the nation.
He's supposed to, but he's
For
not Makarinda.
him, no, even
He's treated
now,
like a
for
common criminal.
him, for
Where
him
No.
to come the way he came. Oh, come on, Vakasiya. Let's be
Listen, even
serious.
that Muhammad, you want to say he's the father of the nation. Kawan, what was he saying? Who talks to the father of the nation and say, oh, because a father of the nation. You see, it can't be a father of the nation when it suits you. It has to be a father of the nation in all circumstances. Not when you want to appease his behavior, then you use him as a father of the nation. When something wrong, then he's not a father of the nation, he's a thug. Look at how I always tell you the profanity he suffers from us.
Well, you know what? You come into the political arena, that's what you get. Anyway, let's pause there. I hope now people can hear me well and good. Lady Sarah, you want to come in with your comment on the full power by the former president on the
Yeah, so for me, yeah, it's so sad that I can even hear Vakasiya, like wanting to protect ECL over this issue of him talking about the Electoral Commission having top-notch people there, like, on his payroll and everything. My question is, in the first place, why was he talking like that? What did he want to achieve? What was he telling the Zambians in the first place as the former president? What was his aim? What is the benefit of the country for him to say what he was saying about the Electoral Commission having people there, and when he lost, then those people came to him and said, how did we lose? What was he saying? What was the main purpose of his
Can I
ranting?
answer? You see, what was he saying? Why did he say things like that? I'm telling you that why he said things, because that's the reality of the things that is even now happening. The people that have been what has happened right now. Let's talk about that. Okay, let's condemn ECO. We condemn him for saying that. What is happening? Because if we are condemning that, what is happening right now, today, you have the cadres that are running Electoral Commission of Zambia. Today.
Okay.
Now,
Okay,
Vakasiya,
thank you for answering me. So, since you have answered that, why you were saying that because, can I say something, Vachanda?
MIOS.
So, since you have said that Lungu was saying what he was saying because he suspects that is what is happening right now, right?
No. I didn't say he suspects.
Because he's not sure. No, let me say what I want to say.
Okay.
Because he's not sure if that's what's happening. Okay? So he's telling us that Nanguchinga Washada my elections, whatever. Because in an even the other person that is there is also doing the same.
Oh my goodness.
Right? So this is wrong. That's why Africa will never develop. Because we have people who are behaving in that manner. How can you develop as a country when even the former president can tell you that I had a chamber pot outside. So even the other person is having a chamber pot outside. This is wrong. In all essence, this is why we condemn Israel. He wasn't a very good president.
So Masera, I agree with you. Now I have a question for you. And I want you to answer me in honesty. right now, if you remember, what did the President say? I have people in the government that give me everything. I receive intelligence report before Edgar Lungu receives the intelligence report. He has said that, oh, I have put people that are monitoring all of you, what you are saying on all the medias. I have put spies there. We are quiet about it. For me, I'm saying, if you want to condemn ECL, what about the million things that you are doing? What is your comment about them? Because it's like, okay, you are now Ufianya. But the other way, we must look the other way around. Ukunga touching at Africa to Arone Chabundi. You know, apart from condemn, yes, you now Ufianya. Whatever he meant, to have Ufianya, now Ufianya Taulandi. To assume, you umbi. What are we saying about it? We look the other way, and that's where the problem I have. It's not a problem, the double standards. If something is wrong, it is, if PF was doing it wrong, and UPND is doing it, it has to still be wrong. And you people in this forum must condemn it to the same extent. Not that because I have a problem with that.
I mean, you're losing me here. You're losing me here. Why are we going to condemn? I mean, why are we going to condemn something that happened 3 years ago when we're talking about something that happened this week? Why are we conjuring stuff that was already condemned in the past? Why are we bringing that stuff now? When the focus should be on the things that are obtaining in real time now. That's what the issue is. You know, and you cannot compare what HH was saying 3-4 years ago when he was an opposition member of, of the fraternity, so to speak, as opposed to somebody who has been a president, somebody who had the keys to our kingdom. ECL should know better. ECL should speak better.
So the question is that, so for HH, you must keep quiet about it. We must not talk about it. Is it what you are saying?
From 4 years ago?
Yeah, so we must keep quiet.
If HH would come and say things like that now, when he's president, then we can condemn him.
There is no way we are going not to condemn him. If he says something in opposition, comes and excuses it when he's in president. We cannot keep quiet about that. If you are condemning cadres, I don't want cadres, I want a free and independent electoral commission. That is what you are saying when you're in opposition. Then when you are president, you come and appoint cadres. And then you say, no, you shouldn't condemn. Because
what makes you say that the appointees are cadres?
But they are there. But it depends. I've given you an example. He's a cadre for UPND. You know that.
Isn't he a professional? Doesn't he have the pay?
He's a cadre.
In Zambia, when whatever you support, you are a cadre.
That might not be true. We can't just paint. No. I mean, we can't just paint everybody black and white.
Can you define a cadre?
People will support based on what they think is important to them. As I know, my Penzi was, or Chimpanzee, whatever his name is.
Dr. Chikonga wants to say something.
Yeah, he was a human rights activist. Come in, bro.
This is the problem that we have as Zambian. It's interesting that we are even having like our veins bulging off our heads, arguing about this colorism and all that kind of stuff. That is where the problem is. If we are going to consider people that hold very neutral places like the Electoral Commission of Zambia as cadres, as appointed cadres in those things, in those positions, and we are okay with it, we have a problem. I think those people should be so neutral or somewhat neutral, even if they are appointees of from the group of cadreisms. I think they should drop that. They probably should be considered in a way that they don't look at which side is ours, where do we belong, and where we don't belong, because that is a recipe for promoting illegality of some of these things, especially our elections that are accounted in a way that are questionable, and then we put somebody who's supporting one side, like he simply says. We should not tolerate that. I think we should really try and walk away from that, or encourage that some of those positions should not be held by people that have alliance to a certain group, regardless of who appointed them into those positions.
I can't agree more with Bachikonka than what he has said. Bachikonka is right.
Bachikonka is right, but My question is, how do you get people like you tell a support than anything are in neutral? Have you ever seen? You've been in Zambia before. You are a Zambian. Even you, PS, Bakazia. You are a Zambian. You supported
Yes.
PF. You became whatever. PS. There is
No,
no way somebody who's supporting something.
Vasera,
No.
no.
Let me finish
No.
off what I'm saying.
Okay, I will just respond to that. I will
Yeah. Okay.
Let
You
me
have 30
finish off
seconds.
what I'm saying. In Zambia, me, I'm a teacher by profession. I used to work for the government, okay? Even as I was working for the government, I will know that I'm falling for MMD, okay? And they will know that I'm supporting MMD that time when I was working as a teacher. But in Shafilange, because I'm scared that Valantan Venchito. So how can you say this one is going to go to Electoral Commission? Somebody who is not even, you don't even know, Electoral Commission. It's very difficult in Africa. It's very difficult because everybody, we have two groups. If there are two powerful, political parties, you'll find that some people will be on this path and the others will be on this path. And when the other path, the other political party wins, they cannot pick somebody who will support the other party. It has never happened. They'll pick somebody who has, interest in the other in the political party which is ruling. So it's very difficult to get somebody who is neutral to run a big institution like the Electoral Commission. It's very difficult. Even if I'm a PAC, people appoint people already nabo. Already appointed to okay, permanent secretary. Even you, Bakazia, there was somebody knew that you are falling on the PF ticket. That's why you were appointed as the permanent secretary.
No.
Yes.
I will need to clarify to you today, probably, and others that are listening. I was never appointed on that basis. I have told you on this platform, I was purely appointed from the civil service point of view and my experience in the civil service. At the time I was being appointed, I had served over 25 years in public service. At the time I was being appointed, and I'd been in different areas of civil service. I have told you on this platform, I never met President ECL before I was appointed as PS. The first time I met President ECL was when I was being sworn in. And I was asked one question. What is it? What should we tell the president? I said, one, he should know that I will go and serve diligently in the position that I'm going to be given. In the position of permanent secretary. I was never in any political regalia. I was never in any political meeting. I was all in civil service meetings. And that is the biggest problem that we have, which Machikonga is talking about, where I agree with him. It is when we come and say, oh, we need permanent. So therefore, without any form of proof, other than just the thought and say Nikata. And now we have permanent secretaries that go and jump on the platform and say, and yes, you can see, because we want to say how the public service run, you will be a cadre. Any permanent secretary who knows that you top civil servant and you serve everybody, you will serve at the pleasure of the presidency, but you are not serving an individual or a political party. You serve the Zambian people. And what you do, you have a performance management system that is able to assess what you do from policy implementation, from formulation, and even anything that government has. You don't run your own show. So even now, the ones that are there, I'm not expecting them that they only serve UPND because it's UPND. No, we have lost it from that point of view. Most of us that were appointed the last 3 years, we were not cadres. We were never anywhere near political office. And if anything, you can ask some of the UPND members. They came to my office, brought problems, sorted out. Not because they were what? No, it wasn't about that. So basera lekeni nyebe chisinga epo tuli echirushi de chintu apo. umuntu pakutume PS ufuyira wali bomba mu public service
No,
Iwe
no, maybe you're 1 out of 10.
No, Basara.
In conclusion, Makazia, sorry,
in conclusion Basera, I definitely agree that we must all be subjected to that level of public service scrutiny
It's
with
very
independent lens, and then we will be able to move forward as a country.
All right, Batulufia.
Yeah, area she irritated it with. You know, we can go on and stuff like that. But to be honest, the bottom line is this: Lungu is not behaving the way he should be behaving. I think African politics now and unfortunately, the PF they're still stuck in the olden ways of doing politics.
But
Here's what I can say. Take a leaf from the current Namibian president, Mr. Bumba. What has he done? He had the opportunity, all right, because the president died. Same situation here in Zambia, if you remember. Yeah, in fact, the same situation that Lungu was in. He took over office when the president died. But according to their own constitution, Namibia, the president then is allowed to seek office for another two terms because he's just taken over the position president will offer. So that one is not counted in the Namibian system. It's not counted as a term. What has he done? He has come up openly and said, I will not run. Because they're having elections in November 27, they're having elections, general elections. He said, I will not participate in those elections because I want to retire in politics. Okay? Even though the constitution allows him to stand for 2 terms, he's saying, I don't want to take advantage of the Namibian people. Okay? So Zambians, Africans, we need to be selfless. Not to be you want to be like a bully all the time. And you want to, grab everything. Amass so much wealth. Like, no. If you have contributed something, contribute something. If you have not, well and good. Why would you want to come back again to do what? Okay, so that's the thing that the Namibian president was saying. Like, look, I'm 85 years old. We already were planning to retire in politics. Like, what am I going to do if I come back? Okay, I need to give chance to other young people to come in and save the country. It's for the nation. You have to have the nation at heart. And looking at Avena Lungu, they don't have the nation at heart. They only have the heart for their own stomach.
I don't agree with you.
Okay, that's what it is. They only have a heart for their own stomach.
In conclusion, Kazia, let Batulufia finish his thoughts.
So my thought is like, look, in this case, we need to have a more reliant opposition, of which the PF is not, unfortunately. And Zambia, moving forward as Zambia, we need to evolve in the ordered system of democracy and ordered system of politics. We need to move in the 21st century, of which we've slayed or put a path as Zambia as a nation, and people are now watching Zambia and they are following how we've been doing things. And look at Africa; it's going to be a brighter future. We don't want leaders like Lungu. Lungu, those are the answers in the system.
In conclusion,
that's my conclusion.
All right, I think we're gonna go back and forth on this.
I need to rebuttal that one first.
Let's move on to the next topic.
I wanted to rebuttal that one. But anyway,
let's move on.
But it's not your goal who leads Zambia. It's the Zambian people. If you don't want him, other people will decide if they want him or not.
Well, they already decided they don't want it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but
All
you are
right. This is
the
why
election.
I was saying let's move on. Let's move on to the next one, which is the most exciting one, and I know that Lady Sarah.
Sorry, Vachanda Vachi Sashimi computer and.
Oh.
what's up, Pupuka? All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic. Which
what's the next?
I know, but Lady Sarah, you're gonna love this one. Oh my goodness. It's a double whammy for Lusambo. Lusambo for the boot. Actually, do we call it? Is it still the bulldozer? Ni follow kote bulldozer.
Yeah, the former Lusaka PF minister, Lusambo bulldozer. Oh my goodness. My words are just failing me. So he was found guilty this week for causing bodily harm to UPND cadres. That court was, and so unfortunately the bulldozer, which remember it was on this actually podcast where I said Mr. Lusambo has no advisors. Whoever advised him to abscond court landed him in the staircases of his home, where he didn't show up for the court ruling. So then the court issued a bench warrant for his arrest, and the police. Zambian police are becoming professional, yeah. So a day after that, that bench warrant was issued by the court. Mr. Lusambo was arrested at his home. He was found hanging in his ceiling.
What? Yeah.
Anyway, but
is it true, Montuali? I'm saying, but
it was. Yeah. There are pictures and video.
It's confirmed. Police spokesperson has given a statement. If the police spokesperson has given a statement, then it's okay.
Yes, there's no argument there.
Kazia, why are you refusing?
The video was there. The police.
I haven't seen the video, please.
Police spokesperson has given an
I want to see the video, please.
Yeah.
I would really appreciate it.
The pictures were there. The pictures were there. So why are we even arguing? Why
Please,
what do we argue? Yeah. Anyway, you didn't see the pictures of him
they were just showing a shoe which can belong to anybody. But
well,
I want to see.
Anyway, we will do that. We'll put the statement by the police.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Okay, calm down, everybody. Calm down. Bakazia, mute yourself. Bachilufia, mute yourself. Lady Sarah, it's your turn. Go with it, my sis. What do you make of Bulldozer's attempt to flee? And let me just advise me before Zambia police, they need to be going on in all the houses of who is the other fugitive? What's the other one who ran away from Chipata? Lady Sarah, help me. What's his name?
Who is that one?
The one who the MP from Pita. Okay, what's his name? JJ Banda.
JJ Banda.
They need the Zambia police. They need to go. Yes, he could be there. So anyway, you come in, Lady Sarah, and put your spin on it. I'm sitting.
Lusambo
was found in his ceiling, and if they did not go that way, he would have been another fugitive. Anyway, mute yourself about our resident PS. Let's allow about Lady Sarah come in with our thoughts on that story.
But again, I saw somewhere where they wrote in the papers to say he has been acquitted.
No, there's no acquittal.
Lusambo.
No, there's no acquittal. He's in jail right
You didn't see that paper?
No. There's no acquittal. He's in jail right now. He's waiting sentencing, and he's not coming out. So just go ahead and
Not on this case.
Not on this case. That's a serious case.
So the serious case is where he beat somebody, he wounded someone.
Yes.
Somebody died.
Somebody died in this case.
Kasongo? Is it Kasongo?
Yes. Somebody died in this case. So go ahead with your.
And I heard an audio where somebody was complaining of Kambwili causing even Lusambo having this problem.
We are. That's one of the topics we're talking.
Okay. So my take on this one is like our late president, beloved late president, Mr. Patrick Levy Mwanawasa used to say that if you do something, the law will follow you. So the law has followed Mr. Lusambo. Kusamwa, Ukula Samoa, we have laws in the land of the living, and I don't know, in the land of the dead, I hear there is hell and heaven. But in the land of the living, there is police. There are laws, there are courts. So it's high time that Mr. Lusambo face the law, and then they let the law take its course, and we cannot say a lot about it because it's in the courts of law. So we'll wait until the judgment day. Then we're going to talk about it more. Thank you.
Now, Bakazia, you come in with your spin on it.
Wow, my spin. Oh my wow. What I don't know, I'm waiting for that video. What I saw is very inconclusive about the issue of the ceiling and stuff like that. But I just saw a shoe. According to the pictures, I saw a shoe in the ceiling and they say, no, you go man. Now, you see, if the police were arresting someone at that level as a former minister, they should have really a very good video of him being arrested, coming out of the ceiling and then handcuffing him and then taking him over to police. I wouldn't have a problem. But also, I have also another big problem which actually affects us as a country. Because when the international community, what we put up there, we are putting ourselves in a situation where it is like our country, all the ministers are criminals. And it may not just be the former people that are there. It is people that are seeing the way our government systems run. First of all, they see Bowman Lusambo being humiliated in that manner. First of all, they see Kakugo exchanging money. 200,000 and stuff like that. Nothing happens to him. Then you hear, now they've gotten more money out of the ceiling on allegedly other things. The implication on anyone seeing our country is not a positive one. Even for those that are doing it is like our leadership in the country is all crap. Because there are people that are leading, and the people that are in government now are not touched by any law, no matter how you can complain. People have complained about Mutoro Pini, people have complained about Director General Zesco, people have complained. They've complained about a lot of other people that are serving in government. No one is facing the law. Nobody is facing the law. But everybody who is from the previous government and is accused is going to face the law. He is going to be arrested. And you see, in my years of experience working with public service and these political figures, the moment they leave office, that is when they now become criminal. Instead of rooting ourselves of criminality, even the people that are in government and the people that are from former government, I don't have a problem with shielding anybody. No. Me, what I would love is we must change the way we do things. Then, if we are fixing the people that have stolen from the past government, let's fix what are stealing now. There is a Mukula report there. Nothing happened. There was issue of a contract to give pause into the ZESCO. It was reported nothing is being done. There are things that have been reported on what the current government is actually doing. Ministers, including the SEC, confessing we are investigating ministers. We have never been told which ministers are being investigated and what are they being investigated for. So for me, it calls to a bigger problem in our justice system and also in our political system. It feels good when we go after these guys that were leaders. It feels good when we can be able to rip down ECL to the point that he looks so useless in the eyes of everybody else.
One day.
Mone ni badali imumwachiranda tirekeni mulandira rekeni nani afino mwachinde shokulanda namunde shada achika nazi.
No, let him talk. You have 30 seconds, Vakazi.
So in my 30 seconds I'm putting to you, Vasera, that even if Engalanda if we are there for yokulanda being a former head of state doesn't stop you from talking on things that are wrong. Just like the current president, he has a right to speak about things that are wrong, including telling diplomats, but he's the one who has appointed him. Party after party, even when we say it was left to behave, now they are in party after party. The president is talking about, we expect action. So this is a whirlwind of political leaders that have been tagged, but it has a bigger
conclusion.
So that is my assessment about it. I'll wait to see what the court does and if they are going to be appeal processes. Thank you.
The court process is already there. He was found guilty. They are sentencing him. But if you're coming on Bulldozer, so we can move on.
Yeah, I think Machina is a little bit behind on this information. Just to bring you up to speed, he was apprehended. Okay, a bench warrant was actually issued. First of all, a bench warrant was issued. When a bench warrant is issued, it means you're going to be arrested. Okay, so Boma Lusambo was evading the law for I think 2 days. This information I got it like last week. That's when I got this information from reliable sources, and I was like, whoa, why he was running away? He was evading the police. Okay, so now when they pounced on him, when they went to his house, okay, they found him hiding in the ceiling. This is not a joke.
Where is the video?
No. Why? Okay, Kazia, why would we want a video for him? If the officials, no. Here's the thing. All we're going to say is this: the official spokesperson of the police has issued a statement to that effect. That's all we need to. That's it.
Okay. So we don't.
These are not rumors. These are not rumors. Official spokesperson of the police has issued an official statement.
Can he be wrong?
Why would he be wrong?
Oh, so he can't be wrong.
No, he can't, because before he comes to offer that statement, then he has received confidential or maybe information that is real and trusted. Because there's no way he can come to give information that is wrong. There's
Are you
no
aware that
way.
the police have apologized in the past for giving wrong information?
Yeah, well, now this is what it was.
No,
this
I'm
is what it
asking you, are you aware?
I'm sorry.
In conclusion, let's move on.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Wakazia, but Bulldozer is no longer a bulldozer. I'm sorry I think you put him at a higher esteem. But he's just a human being.
I never said what you are saying. You are the one saying it.
In conclusion.
So, at the end of the day, he's a human being like anybody. He's scared of going to jail. No. Listen.
In In conclusion,
He's
You think this
scared.
go back and forth here. In conclusion,
Okay, he's scared to go to prison, just like any other person. Takwabo muntu watimokuya prison.
Wacheya.
Vakazia. No,
Bakazia, let him speak.
vakazia
I'll come
problem
back to you.
tampoa
Let
abantu
him land.
vanelanda intawashani.
Let
The
him
point
speak.
of order, Wacheya.
No. Let your friend finish. Then you come in. You
But
just don't
we're
disturb
going back
abantu
as we are wasting
Point of order, Wacheya.
No.
your point of order will come once it finishes. But
Okay.
finish up in 30 seconds, Batrufia. So we move on.
So what I'm saying is this. Kwaliwo muntu ulionse ala china jail. It doesn't matter whether niwevo strong money, niwevo nani kane, niwevo rambo. At the end of the day, when even the day knocks on your door to say kaviye ku prison, kututuma. You see? Even when Kambwili bale fenta no kufenta so. You see what I'm saying? Kuti wa mule never champion. Ndoma if you mufunyefi, if you muchiteshani, never champion. But ngawakala mune insta yako ya kujere ya Afrika. Kula tutuma no kuisunda wila pati. Vantu bala isunda no kuisunda wila. Because kujere is not a good thing. Okay? So this is not it's not an unusual thing. It's not something that's out of the world. Yes, Vali Musanga. Eroba Musenda is in custody now. And they've openly giving us the official statement. That's the statement we're going to run as Zambians. Vali Musanga mutenge na virama. Okay? That's it.
Okay.
Now
Can I
your
say
point,
something?
your point order, Bakazia, 30 seconds. We can't,
Chair, what I don't agree and what I think we should resist. Quite we can't be calling people animals proper fora. That is disrespectful.
Okay, but I didn't hear him call him, but you can recall
he said
that word.
Okay.
He said Nivamu, and that is not right.
I didn't hear that.
No. Here's the thing. If you know what Mumbwe is, it's Chinama. Okay?
No, but Ninama.
No. You have asked, you put a point of order. I want to answer it. Kwali wantu wakati huyu muntu ni kuwe. Pamona? It doesn't mean literally like you are that. It's just a behavior. Behavior. We take it from our own Bemba proverbs. Proverb to send mwanselo muntu oyo muntu nipwero oyo muntu nipwero oyo na behavior ya kwati nipwero. Okay, so we don't mean that muntu nishichina ma we.
Why are you justifying what you have just said? What you said is just okay. Is whatever. Listen, Bakazia, you are saying bulldozer. Who is a bull?
No.
Is an animal.
Where are you? Vasera. Ngamulefaya tule ama words like that. We can use them.
Mumbweni ulo muntu wa mwenso. Who is a bull?
Vasera. Chamwenso na mumbwe bali kusana.
Na imwe.
I'm telling you.
Mumbwe kwachita ni kuwe.
Bacha.
Ala stanani kane alemba kwa nachenjera.
Umusalu wata hawa.
Here's what we're saying. Okay.
Are we going to get stuck on
that's okay. My last 2 minutes contribution, 2 seconds. Is that if my colleagues are saying that kind of language is fine, I don't have a problem. I will withdraw my point of order. But when I use it, they should not feel offended. That is what I'm saying. But it's okay.
We need to. Personally, we're not here to
use it in a proper way, because as we are talking about bulldozer.
No,
the cow.
Yes,
the cow dozer.
Bulldozer.
It's an animal.
So that one is good.
We are going to be jailed.
Why? If I say
So
Okay, let's move on. This one is not this issue will never end. Let's move on.
I'll use the same word when I'm
We
You have to justify. You have to just when you say Nimumbwe, then you tell us why
basically what I mean. I'm not Bemba. So what
okay.
understand what I'm getting is
Okay,
the issue
that's
of
one
comparison.
second before we move ahead. If you are going to use it at Nimumbwe, you have to justify why you're saying Nimumbwe.
I can justify
Okay.
different ways of saying
Now,
it.
don't worry about it. You've got enough chance. You are here. This
But
platform. You're not
I
here today.
just don't like that.
But what the topic at hand is this: Bowman Lusambo was one of those leaders that actually put fear in people. In fact, let me tell you one thing. He was running a group called the NATO Forces. Even Chishimba Kambwili knew about it. And even Chishimba Kambwili talked about him and told and explained how he was working and how he was operating. You can imagine he even sponsored. They were even singing songs. You remember they were insulting Chishimba Kambwili. You know, they had certain songs.
I don't tolerate that. I do not
Can
tolerate
we
that kind
conclude?
of
Let's move on to the next topic, people. Let's conclude here. I think this let's just agree to disagree. How about that?
Watch our times, and I just want to say something. What Bakazia was saying about our current government pursuing those who are like Awakale, Abena Lusambo, and when there are people in the government who are they are talking about them, nothing is happening. If you have evidence, Bakazia, against any UPND minister or anything, take it over. I'm sure they will take them to court, or they will call them to the at the police station. So if you just hear somebody by social media complaining of maybe Mwetwa or anybody, it has no water. It goes under the bridge, you know. It has no evidence. So the evidence of the current people in this current government. You can go and say, "Uyu aliva, uyu ali umuntu alifwa." You can do that, and they can take it up. But if there's no evidence, how do they take them to court?
Basera, I totally agree with you. Gachapa Tindero, something that has not been reported on the police. That is right what you are saying. I totally agree with you.
All
If there's
right. So
corruption
everybody,
which has been reported and is not being done. Now I'm a report that when if you tell them a punch from this, why starting was so APC, that's a criminal matter than this. Nobody investigates. It is there on police. Unless you say we have one list of the things that have been reported which have not been actioned. What are you going to do about them?
In conclusion, let me bring in.
It's a problem.
Let me bring in the deep thinker. Please come and bring sanity to this table today. Thank you for joining us, deep thinker. How are you today?
I am well, thank you. How are you? I'm sorry, I was talking to family.
No, we understand. Our resident PS is already giving me a headache, and it's about to get me to start drinking right now. But
take aspirin.
Yeah, we are not going to do that. So how about we do this? We have been talking about the recent arrest of Bulldozer, who was found hiding in his home in a mansion that with money he allegedly proceeds of crime. Now that's a topic for another day. And he absconded court on a case that he was, sued for causing bodily harm to UPND cadres. He was found guilty in absentia, and the court issued a warrant. The police acted the day after he was arrested, found hiding in his ceiling. Your comment, because I know you love you love the process of law. Your process on that arrest, and then we wind up. We go to the next topic. Go ahead, deep thinker, please chime in.
I was just a little bit confused. Did he not know that he needed to appear in court? That's the first question.
He knew. He absconded.
Oh, okay. So he purposely did not go to court.
Yes.
Uh,
And he knew what probably he knew he was going to be found guilty based on evidence. So he was hiding in court in his house, in his ceiling. Imagine that.
so on that one, then he has a case to answer on that one. And then I didn't follow the what happened really during in 2021 or whenever that was. Did he actually cause bodily harm to somebody, or did he direct other people to cause bodily harm?
He was charged of thugs called Netto Boys. What do they what Netto Boys? What were Bakazia's
Netto forces.
Netto forces.
Netto for he had what we need to understand is this. Bowman Lusambo was running an organization called the Netto Forces. It's well known in the copper belt, well known guys that are criminals actually, to say the least. And he was running that group and sponsoring them, giving them money, and they were riding brand new Hiluxes. Okay, those are the same guys. If you remember, the videos are there for everybody to watch.
So did he actually participate in harming
Yes.
Zambians?
Yes.
If you listen to Chishimba Kambwili's statement, this was done years ago. It's on. It's also on video. It's also on the social media. But Chishimba Kambwili said when they went when Obed, the guy was called Obed. Okay, when they were campaigning that time when Chishimba Kambwili was the president of NDC, they went to campaign just like any other party. And then in the night, Bowman and his group, they called the NATO forces. They went to because everybody had camps. Okay, and that's it. Everybody was happy. There was UPND, there was everybody, there was PF, everybody. So at night, the police asked, they stopped him. They said, "Mulia kuisa ba minister. Then they said that, look, you cannot be patrolling. That's not your job. Your job is to be a minister. There's no effort to clear no. Him insisted he went into AMA camps for other political opponents, especially NDC that time when Kambwili was talking. So when they went there, they started fighting. And when they were fighting, one of the guys called Obed was hacked. Okay? The videos are
by who? By his people or by Bowman? Either way, it's wrong, but I just need to know if Bowman is the one who struck him.
Valentine, your question, this case is in court. I don't see those questions are very good to be asked here.
Yeah. So whoever did it, but the video, Valentine, you can go and check what Kambwili was saying.
Yeah,
Kambwili was saying in the video, which is on social media, it's not coming from me. It's coming from what I was seeing when he was interviewed and what he was saying. He said, "Vabomani, monofo mwanchita mwankoma apa." Neighbor, I think you're saying that they were neighbors at one point. And then the guy from there, he started, suffering from a headache, and then he died. Okay, so that's man one, manslaughter. Okay, whether you were fighting and then somebody dies, or maybe you didn't intend for somebody to die, whether it was him or whatever, or you go to rob a bank. for example, and then you Valentine, namwekarafe motogata, you know, you are just participating. You are going to be charged the same way. Navarama robbers.
Correct.
That's how it is.
Now I agree with if he was leading a gang related group, he has to. But I was just wondering if the people that did the striking are also in court and arrested.
Yes.
The process of law for me, let the law take its course. I don't care who it is. I was the first one to say, if Esther Lungu stole something, she needs to face the same consequences as an ordinary person in Shigatende who steals the chicken and
Ah,
is arrested.
ah. Why the reference to Shikatende, my village?
Oh, Lugwalo then.
Oh, look, why the reference?
I'm just saying the context, in the context.
Okay.
So the law should not discriminate.
Okay.
So if he led a gang, he need to be responsible for whatever happened and the consequences. But it shouldn't just be him.
No, it's not just him and his gang.
Okay,
Yeah,
then I'm good with that.
that his gang was in court, they got convicted and sentenced him, decided he was going to be the mighty and all, hide in a ceiling,
I'm,
abscond court,
I'm
and
not going.
yeah, and then the court issued a bench warrant. The police, who we complain every time not being professional, they acted on that warrant. They found him hiding in the ceiling at his home, and they picked him up as we speak. He is in police custody, awaiting that sentence, which I hope it won't be less than 5 years. Anyway,
I have no comment about the ceiling. I have no comment about that.
oh, he's a coward, basically. So shall we go? Shall we then go to the next story?
Just to welcome the deep thinker. I missed you, Valentine. I really did, because at times you pose questions that make everyone think about the statements that one makes. So that is one thing that I missed about you. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, Vakazia. Sorry, I was late, Vakazia.
Here we go. This bromance. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to the next topic of a former UPND DC out of Isoka, who was convicted this week for stealing 700 bags of fertilizer meant for CDF. He was convicted this past week and sentenced to 5 years. So here's a story that Vakazia wants to make you believe that the current corruption or thieving that's happening, we are looking the other way. So let's bring in Sarah, your comment on this DC that has gone to jail for stealing 700 bags of fertilizers for CDF, 5 years in prison. His UPND.
Yeah, this is a very good thing that has happened, though it's sad that such a a man of family man to go to jail over just being greedy, and this is why I want to say that it's an example which Wakazia wants to see. And Wakazia, there you go. There's one of us, one of the UPND people who has been, sentenced to 5 years for stealing. This is why I was saying, if you have evidence, take it there. And UPND is not sleeping. Whoever has a case will be taken into jail. If you have evidence, take it there and look. This is somebody who has just been jailed for 5 years. So that's an example to those who want to steal. If your hands are itching that you want to steal, the law will find you. The law will get you. And this is not all about HH is taking people to. No, it's the law. We have laws in the land, of the living. So if you steal, you'll be jailed. Wakazia, that's one of an example. So any evidence, if you have seen somebody stealing or whatever, bring it on.
The Valentine, your comment on our former DC being arrested and conviction, 5 years going in.
The law and justice should not discriminate. I don't care who you are. If you do some wrong, you should face the consequences. But now I'm going to divert and go Kuriva Akazia. I think Akazia's concern is that the big fish is not caught, but that's not what we're talking about, Akazia. We're talking about this particular case. I'm happy that that person got got sentenced and is going to face the law and justice.
Your comment, Vakazia.
I think firstly, justice for all is good. And you remember that what I've talked about in the past is selective application of it, which I don't like myself. Because if I commit the same crime like anyone else, for instance, I'll give an example of hate crime. Hate crime which was thrown in Chishimba, Kambwili. And then there is a UPND member of the provincial chairperson who wants to say he wants to circumcise the current president. Bring him where we should deal with him. He's still free. I have problems when I see that kind of thing, where this one is insulting, the other one is insulting. You arrest this one. This in the same way, no one has reported. The police have used the social media cyber security act. They arrest one, the other one goes free. That I have a problem. But where there is criminality and they convict someone based on the judicial system that we have, I have no problem, because that is what our laws speak to. So that DC who stole and is been convicted, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem when we don't have an audit of CDF and we keep putting money there. There's no audit report to say as who has stolen what money. And then we are seeing people, they say, oh, it's working, it's working. I have a problem with that. I want it to be audited. Thieves, that the people that are dipping their hands in public resources, they must be held to account in a fair manner and justice for all. Not just, oh, this guy supports this one. So when you speak, they fix you. The other guy is speaking the same way, he is praised. I have a problem with that. So, as far as this one is concerned, we want good. Let's see how the whole justice system is. Now, you have also to understand one thing, committee. As much as we are seeing these convictions, you have to understand these are very preliminary courts. These are magistrate courts. There is an appeal process of the High Court. There is an appeal process to the Court of Appeal. All the way, in some cases, the Supreme Court, if the Court of Appeal allows it. So at times you find that the evidence that is presented at subordinate court is very basic. When it goes to the High Court, the burden of proof rises, goes up. When it goes to Court of Appeal, the same thing happens. So even when we see Bulldozer Lusambo being arrested, being what, I think we have to wait for until we see if he's not going to apply for bail pending, apply for bail pending appeal. Let's see how that works. But it's an interesting case to see. Even the one who's been convicted, there are more things when I was reading that might make him appeal, and it might cause a problem for the prosecution.
The guilty is always afraid. Anyway, that's all I can say. The guilty is always afraid. Rakalinda, let's move to the next topic. But all I can say is the guilty is always afraid. And there's no smoke without fire.
May I just make a comment on that,
Yes,
Madam
go
Chair?
ahead, Deep Thinker.
Vakazia, when you talk about audit, I don't know if you have some information that we don't have, because we don't know what's going on the background unless you do. We don't know if there's an audit being done, going on right now, that has just not come to the surface for a common person to know. I don't know if you have some information that they're just neglecting those audits. There's nothing.
Okay, I can speak about it, that because there was a matter which was raised about having a comprehensive audit for the last 3 years that the CDF for funds have been given. There is no audit report that is there right now.
So there's no audit report. It's not that there's no audit. Is that what you
Yeah,
say?
because there's no. I would say there's no audit because any audit follows a report. So if you do the audit, there is a report at the end of it all. So if the report is not there, then what is not done?
If we say that there's no audit, I think it was on this podcast not too long ago where there was a story that came out of Mungo of the entire CDF constituency development being fired and going through the court process involving over 50 million kwacha that the helped themselves, so to speak. We have another case in Mwale where an audit happened, and it was announced that the entire CDF committee was also fired, and in Livingstone and in Chipata. So how can we come here and say there are no audits?
Okay, here is what happens.
Well,
I can answer to that.
I think if we start getting into this audit thing, it's gonna go on and on and on. Like we look.
We are not discussing it, but it's important to clarify a few things.
Yeah, well, so audits are always there. We have auditors. Everybody will check audit books.
I mean, the reason why I just
can I give my submission, Chair?
Yeah, you will. But the reason why I say that we're saying 3 years, and yet we have these reports. So you come in.
Okay. So, Chanda, the way the audit reports on specific programs like that, which is the Constituency Development Fund, it is just a specialized audit, just look at Constituency Development Fund, not what is mixed with other, like for instance, a recurrence departmental charge which is given to a department to run by paper and things like that. No, I mean an audit of the money that has been given in Constituency Development Fund. For instance, I'll give you a typical example. When I was running a project on child labor and the child labor, there was a specialized audit just on child labor. The money that is gotten around child labor, they come and do an inspection, they come and do an audit of the entire country, then they give you one report. It's not they're going to do an investigation on the Mwale alone, do an investigation on the Isoka, do an investigation. No, a national audit, because the money is given to all the councils at the same time, I presume, according to what we were told, isn't it? So I'm expecting an audit to be carried out in that fashion and present a report, which we must be able to see.
Yeah, obviously that's going to be done, but at this point, let's move on.
It's going to be done, Bachan. That's what I'm saying. It's not done yet.
Well, it's an institution, like you are saying. It's a government institution.
Yeah, but
so there's no way that they can run a program without auditors.
But did you hear my point? Am I saying they're running that without what I said? It has not been done. That is the point. That's the question.
That's what you're saying. It hasn't been done.
Where is the report?
You want them to give you personally?
Well, they report a public document. You shouldn't be personal when we're discussing national matters.
No, these issues, obviously, we're talking about national issues. Okay?
Yes, but don't be personal.
No, because you haven't seen the report.
Yes, the question that where is that audit? You know where it is.
Right. So what we're saying is this: if you want to get that report, now there's what the law that was just passed recently. You can go, apply. You go and get.
That is why we mislead the politicians. It's when someone points out something that people can listen to and say, okay, this person, how do we structure it? Then you go into the phase of wanting to political appeasement. It's not about political appeasement here. It's about something that is, if it's not being done, it's done. If it's done, it's done. Someone can say, yes, you can go to this link, you're going to find the report. It's not about
here's what I can tell you. Just for the sake of Bonsama Zambians and everybody else that is watching, we're running a very professional institution, and CDF is very professional. CDF is not chibombe bombe fila masaka yandalama fila mwale foresa abantu. No. But this money is being accounted for.
Deep thinker.
And of course,
Can I be supported? Can I be helped? Get this money and
no, but
Madam Chair.
Mr. Ray's issue, I'm trying to explain it.
Let's
Okay?
go. Let's go.
Madam
So
Chair.
you've raised an issue.
Okay.
I'm trying to
Yes, deep
explain.
thinker.
I think we can just ride on the assumption that because he's saying there's no audit going on because he doesn't have a report, which doesn't mean that the report is not there. That doesn't mean the report is not there. He just doesn't have it. Because somebody might have that report, we don't know. So the assumption is that there is no audit because there is no report out yet.
All right, right. Let's move on now to the most tantalizing topic of the day, which I just left it for now. Wow. Our former First Lady, the incomparable, the magnificent, the most beautiful woman on earth, Esther Lungu, was arrested once again by the DEC after they found her with more property worth 5 million kwacha, believed to be proceeds of crime for the umpteenth time. Oh my goodness, fire is coming out of my ears. I absolutely don't know what to say on this. What is going on with our most beautiful, intelligent, articulate, sophisticated mother of the land, Mrs. Lungu? Once again, her name was in the limelight this past week. Lady Sarah, your comments on our beloved First Lady. What's going on there? Your take.
Oh my goodness. The First Lady vale fuira fecha tangarara. Come to my First Lady vale fuira kuzala balume. Oh my. Vale fuira ngakuthi bafunya kusendela mashonse shile mwebala lokho. Vale bombe nchitoshi. So for me, what I can say is it's just a game. It's a game. Yeah. Anyway, when you are married, you are one. So they were stealing together. It's so sad. I don't even have anything to say about this. I will say it maybe when I hear these men, how they give their wives the money and then their wives are caught. How the First Lady can always be, the name can always come out like Esther Lungu, blah, blah, blah. Esther Lungu, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. How to anaka? Ba Esther Lungu zaleni fie. Mwine wadalama. Vedami ve pesha. Just say.
Fish mara fuida.
Wale fuida Chishimba Esther. Wale chulila mu. Mulika wola ni ubiole chulila mfeni vena. Acheve Can you imagine?
Because
anyway, for better for worse, Machanda. For better for worse. So come on, I'll not wish. Because we know. Yeah.
What did? How it's a very, very, very funny thing at the end of the day, because now coming up in the politics scene, trying to come out like a loud mouth and saying all these things that he's been saying, because he's saying himself like, look, yes, I want to come back, but I want to come back to not only to defend my family, but I want to defend the PF. Like, Mr. Lungu, PF will continue being PF. Okay, you are not PF. PF was an organization before, and it would continue being an organization even after.
So it did Lungu, no, but
no, it's the same. It's intertwined.
No, I'm just asking the chair. That
it's intertwined, Vakazia. It's intertwined. Okay. Why? Okay. Why are we talking about Esther? She was a former First Lady, right? And why are we talking about the properties and stuff like that? She's acquired masses of wealth. Everybody, they've got all these properties that are questionable. And when they ask them, they say, oh, this was a present from my dad. This was a present for the Lungu. So even vaestanga vabe pusha. Valalanda tawe. If into abampere balume. You see? And who's abalume ni tete Lungu. Okay? So what we're saying is Esther didn't have a job or a business to say this is the business I was doing for me to amount all this wealth. Amayanda palinama giraffe. Amayanda palinama giraffe. I don't think you understand the depth of this case. Amayanda yakaenda. If you saw what I saw, Amayanda yakaenda palinama giraffe. Filipo from Sanga Kukusan Hotel. Panganda ve ya muntu fi. Palinama giraffe.
So
Parietu impombo. Sho te fia ikansi. Mama. No, but Esther Lungu. Ninch shi. Oyo wabo mbere. Ya kuwebere wakuwe if mayande if it is 20. Nam nefinama. Ulesunga kwati ni lodge.
abasungu ebakubena kufere kyabano
awe abasungu ni investment my investors barabalesa baisa mu Zambia bashitana nika baisa kusani hotel walanda wa investors tolapanga lodge basta register what registration did Esther Lungu
so abasungu my investors
don't divert.
Which Muzungu are you talking about?
Hey, which one? So, okay. What we're saying is
why do you defend these PF people? Are you PF?
Is a PF?
And not only that, Vachanda Kazia. Not only that. Look, what we are trying to say is that this lady, because how can Esther Lungu own all those properties and also be found with a lot of money? Where was she working? So what we are saying in short is Nilungu ewaleiva.
You don't know. You are accusing him of stealing. Now, let me answer you people. Now, even the mentality to work. Number one. Esther has always told you. She's not the first time she has said that. She has mentioned that in court. She has even mentioned every time, check the statement. But people go back to arrest her. Why are they not going after the presentation? Why is it mentioned? Why? No, but the question is that you see,
if the properties are in her name, where do you want them to go?
Even if they are in my name, if I put a property in my wife, my wife says it is my husband. So what do you want my wife to do? What do you want my wife to do? We speak about what do you want Esther Lungu to do? Now, using those political ways, you just go ahead and grab. But I can assure you, 5 million is how many dollars? 5 million. Look at how many. So it's like Edgar's room will say 65 years. No, it doesn't amount. What does it amount to? Who has caused a forensic audit to say, this is the money that you are worth? Every time we come to Zambian, a president, 5 million, 30. And this kind of thing is what is going to bring also problems for the current president. If our current president tolerates this, I'm finished. I'm not yet done. But if the current president does not fix this problem, is going to face him. He's going to follow him. People follow him for everything he has done for the time that he has been in business. He's right now, most of his performance is on the stock market. He's a stock guy.
In conclusion,
Every time we go, yo, walibile 200 kwacha, walibile ng'ombe shitatu. Someone has 100,000 in ng'ombe. Mwasamu atok, ungechi ng'ombe shipitisha sangu amosa, and therefore, cattle theft mulongeni. That is so myopic. People, let's respect our presidents. There is no way we can go for after the wife like that. Those are political investigations. I do not support it, whether it's ECA or whether it's HH to come and start going through the same thing. But it's a trap that is being laid right there for the current president.
in conclusion,
He must not allow it, and he must not allow him and members of UPND to start misleading him, to set himself for a trap when you are going to abandon him. Most of the in conclusion, I'm going out to
in conclusion, your 2 minutes is up.
Let me conclude like this in 30 seconds, Chair. The same people at President HH, be careful with them. They are laying a trap for you and they will jump off you the first moment you lose power. Baka Muvutuka by making these kind of things. Most people are getting allowances and running into vicious circles of investigations that lead us nowhere. We have seen these investigations before. Rupia Banda, Chinuva, and everything, they lead us nowhere. The president needs to stamp this kind of hallucinations away from our people. We are far much better than this president. We cannot be reducing a president $45,000 or $20,000.
Your 30 seconds is up.
I submit, Chair.
Deep thinker, I know you bring in a fresh look. I can't wait. Your comments on our beloved.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we're talking about the future, what's going to happen to HH, and I think we need to recognize that precedence is being set, and the people that are involved in setting this precedence, they know exactly what's going to happen when they lose power. They know exactly what's going to happen because they've set that precedence. But in the meantime, we're talking about Esther Lungu and where she got that money. I mean, it's a simple, to me, it's not as complicated as we think it is. Clear yourself. Where did you get the money from? I got it from here, I got it from here, I got it from here. It's not a proceed of crime. But if you can't justify why you have that amount of money, then the court system, the justice system has to do its job. And right now, that justice system is doing its job. It has to question, and if they're not satisfied, there's an arrest. And if there's an arrest, there's going to be appeals. And we take it from there. Once those appeals come, then we take it from there. If it takes in a different direction and Esther is exonerated, good. If she's found with the case, she has consequences. So let the court system do its job. Unless Ibakazie is not really, doesn't have confidence in the justice system.
Deep thinker, thank you
Then
very
I will
much.
ask Ibakazie if he doesn't have confidence in the justice system, under what president does he think the justice system worked well and properly?
Okay.
I submit.
A quick answer on the deep thinker. You have raised a very important question. If the people are investigating, and I will put it on record here, that someone has said, the wife has said, these things that you see me, my husband is here, gave them to me. And then you still go back to the same wife. What do you want the wife to do? Because he told you, the things that I own is because of my husband. He's here. It's not that the husband is dead for you to say, oh, why the police keep this? No, he is there.
So, Bakazia, let me follow up with another question.
Yes.
My husband gave me this.
Yes.
What crime is Esther being charged? Is it in possession of proceeds of crime? So if it's the possession of proceeds of crime,
Yes.
What is the problem then? Even if she
Yes.
says, my husband, you are in possession of proceeds of crime.
Yes. What do you need for me you to prove that these are process of crime? Because you can't explain where you got them from. So that
Well,
the legitimacy of what you own
I,
can be tested by deep think.
I would suppose that when she appeared in court, she would have brought the husband as a witness.
She has been telling people. It's not like it's not rare.
That's not what I said. In court, she would have brought the husband as a witness, is what I said.
No, this is a new charge, my friend. It's a new charge of the same thing. It's a piece
Okay,
of
if
No,
paper
no, no,
very
no, no, no,
long.
no, 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 Bakazia, no. It's a new
Oh, God.
charge with new sets of properties. It's not the old one. Let's not confuse the listener here or the viewer. This is a new set of properties they found. It's not the the one that you forfeited. These are new
Yeah.
properties worth
That
Yep.
is what
5 million
I'm saying. I'm saying these are new things. This is a new charge of the properties that they've said. Now, to Asange upon a film, we have found another thing here. Come and
Yeah,
explain yourself.
we
That is what
needed
I'm
that.
talking about.
We
But
needed that
using,
clarity
yes,
because
but
it
using the
sounded like
same
it.
old system that you are using.
may I follow up with a question, Wakazia?
Democrat.
But Esther says, this money I got it from my husband. And since Lungu is named in that issue, has he come out and said, this is where I got the money,
No,
leave
but
my wife alone?
you see, none. Yeah, no
Um,
one has asked him about that. Who has asked him?
oh, no, Wakazia.
No
Wakazia.
one.
If, if
Okay,
your
okay,
wife,
okay, okay,
You
okay.
need to ask
if
Israel that question.
if your
Has
wife
he
is
been
going
answered?
through those things, wouldn't you do that, Wakazia?
What?
If your wife is going through all those going throughs, wouldn't you come
Mwalishiba,
up and say, this is where I got the money from?
but deep thinker, it is true. There are a lot of things that I could do. It's a lot of things that I can do. One, I can wait to say they are going to ask me. I can do that. Number two, I can also go volunteer myself. There are a lot of things that I can do. But what does the law say? What should happen? Now we see that the problem is when you are going through the wife, you know that when if he has told you, if it is me, just come for me straight away. Not going to my family because the children are saying it's my dad.
No,
What are
no.
you not going to do?
Morning, Bakazi. Okay, we understand your sympathy. We understand how you feel.
And
When,
I also understand how you feel as well. I also
no,
understand.
we understand it. We understand it.
Yes, I'm saying I
But
also understand how you feel.
you're just one person that is sympathizing.
Just like
But
you are.
at the end of the here's what it is. At the end of the day, the law is the law. Okay, and if they have to dig through via Esther to find a bigger chunk, that's how it is. It's the law. It's a process. Okay, it doesn't end now. It's not going to
I
end
have
now.
not said it's not the law.
So
I have
so
not said that.
ofotorera nifi vamayo navavekata nefipe fyako it doesn't have a way to explain. Especially, it's worth millions and millions of dollars
Which millions na imwe
from
batanda? These no
Ingwe.
millions.
Chamwamwera
That is
magirafu
not millions of dollars
I
na
don't
imwe.
think money. Are you on the internet,
Let's
Ingwe?
not just cheapen our president na imwe.
Are you on the
Anyway,
internet?
let me bring in a comment here from our viewer. Let me bring in hold your fire, gentlemen. Let me bring in a comment here from our viewer, Emmanuel Howard Mujindu. He says Esther Lungu must face the law, and I couldn't agree with him or anyone more than what she has to. That's the bottom line. If you're saying your husband is the one that gave you the monies to, amass all this wealth that you can't, that your salary or whatever you make as a businesswoman can't match, you have to face the law. And I mean, and if your husband is bold enough, you should just say, hey, look, here's how I fund my funds, and this is how I funded my family, because we cannot have a country. Somebody needs to mute worship back as they are fishing. Yeah. So anyway,
Madam Moderator.
yes.
Just one comment. So, first of all, we can go on and on with this topic. We need to know exactly the charge. What does the charge say? Yara Esther.
Oh, you mean the current charge?
Yes, what are the charges that Esther is facing?
Oh, that's easy.
Because if the charges are possession of proceeds of crime, and you are in possession, that if I steal Kazia's car and then I give it to the moderator, and the moderator is arrested for possession, we need to know what the charge is. That's all I'm saying.
That's an easy one.
Deep thinker, just a quick one. Suspected. Not if you are caught with proceeds of crime. Suspected proceeds of crime.
Even if it's suspected, it's
Mhm.
surrounded by Esther Lungu.
Yes.
It surrounds Esther Lungu.
Yes. What I'm trying to say, deep thinkers, that there's a difference when you say if you are caught with stolen property, or when you are caught with something suspected to be stolen. It's different.
Correct. I agree. I stand to be corrected on that one. But it's not just suspected, it's suspected of having properties that are proceeds of crime. Possession is the issue here.
Right.
It is what it is, man. I mean, if they find you with $1 million in your house, look, people were giving each other money. This is not a secret. We all know how money was moving. Amasaka yamawokwa bags.
Alikwatana everything was found with money.
Those forget it. What's wrong with that? So we all know 65 million was moving from here. This one, in fact, where did it start from? She herself was sued, okay, by our own relative to say in Indarama, Vampera, and then for some reason they said Nubanganga, and then it's a very confusing thing. Like, how do you get money to say Nsungirako? You give your niece. How much money?
$400,000. Well,
yes, even $400,000. Okusunga ati Nsungirako. Chena chaka ichipimo chaka. No matter how innocent you want to claim to be, but look, the law will catch up to you at one place.
I definitely. In I don't want to shield criminality in the Jaguar table. But that's on day Canada. Now, who be like what $250,000? And then officer. What do you say about it? No investigation.
We're not talking about that. What we're talking about is Esther Lungu. She was saying she had an organization. Nishi organization to have the bank account. Nishi Barisungiranga Indara Muma Uka bags. Support.
Every person that they find is money. But in the market and the woman and Musangana Kasaka Kandarama Kalinda. And I'm going to Kulanda.
65 million.
Five chicks were found. By the way, congratulations to Faith Musonda. She just got married.
Oh, yeah. Now, but she got married.
She got married, You know, a side chick with 65,
Mwalani
65,
tamukulanda
sponsor
pekumona
down
inu
wedding, isn't it?
65
Kwalambokulanda
million
pekumeto
kwacha.
mwambe.
No.
Kwalambokulanda pekumeto
Well, we are
mwambe.
just saying, I was
She
just
sponsored our wedding.
I just congratulated a fellow lady for getting married. She found her happiness. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. And I'm also referencing to the fact that a side chick was found with 65 million kwacha and thousands of dollars. That's just side chick number 9.
Who's side chick?
What
Who's side chick?
about side chick number 2, 3, 4,
Who's
5,
side
6,
chick
7, 8, 9, 10?
Vakalinda? Who's
How
side
much
chick?
money do they have?
Who's side chick?
We are not going to mention names here. All I'm saying is congratulations to Faith Musonda for finding her happiness.
I think I must also say, you see, I want to congratulate. I know, I was just talk about.
Anyway,
Let's
shall
move
we
ahead.
move
Let's
on?
move ahead.
Shall we move on? Shall we move on?
Basera nchani mwaikarazia kumbe
I
mulika kati na
love
mulika. Nishani.
rolling up my
Imo basera imo. Itakuwa wekarazii, itakuwa vanyusi.
Anyway,
Ama-questions ayo.
shall we
Wachanda lonse mufisa amave ku video. Wachina mukashali.
anyway,
Bakazia.
shall we move on? Oh, this is the most beautiful
Nami
topic.
kumanya ku Canada, I wouldn't even recognize you.
No, me, I know him from his voice. There he is. Anyway, shall we move on? Shall we move on to this beautiful? I think we all.
Alikwata kagapu, abantu bakwata gapu, barada.
Oh, where?
Why are you asking, Machanda? What about Deep Thinker? Oh, you know I.
Oh, that's my brother. Even if I don't see him.
Basera ni live yo namukapata basera takulanda ngomwakupa live.
Anyway,
I'll be in Canada next year, so I want to recognize him.
Anytime you're welcome.
Anyway, let's move on. So the president, I think he's giving us some lessons, life lessons here, where he just disclosed that he has taught his kids that they should never depend on a paycheck for their day-to-day lifestyle. Isn't that's just beautiful to my ears? Look at this man. He was a self-made millionaire at 27 through his own hard work. Now he's teaching his kids, to depend on themselves, to be entrepreneurs, to be, whatever they can, to create jobs for the Zambian people. So, so there goes your answer, Bakazia, that Bali's kids, you never find them dipping their hands in state coffers. They are making their own money outside government.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think? Let's look at that. Let's just be honest. For me, in my lifetime, I have seen how many? 5 presidents? There were 7 presidents. All of them. I was young during KK, but yeah, I did interview. That was one of my memorable interview I ever did with him. But that's a story for another day. So I've lived under KK, Chiluba, Mwanawasa, Banda, Micheal Sata, this one, Changwa, and now we're under Bali. Of all these presidents, I've never heard a president say my kids will never depend on state coffers to survive, because I've set them up to be independent entrepreneurs, to be businessmen in their own right. They'll never depend on a paycheck. I think that's advice all of us as parents we should be giving our own kids. Tell your kids you can be whoever you want to be, but make sure you're your own person. Because I shouldn't say this, but I was at one point. You know how I like to have a little mossy here and there. So I was back in the day at Manda Hill. What was that place called? it was a hang, you know, the who's to who in Lusaka used to hang out there, drink their alcohol.
Oh,
So what?
O'Hagan?
Yeah.
O'Hagan's.
No, yeah, O'Hagan's. So we were there having a jolly good time. I remember I was watching Liverpool against Arsenal. That's a story for another day. And guess who walked in? The place was packed. Castro Chiluba. He walked in and everybody just scampered. You know, like there goes Castro, and there that young man came into O'Hagan as loud as he could. With all his bodyguards were scared. He was fighting anyone. If he looks at you and he thinks you're looking at him in the face, he'll beat you up, slap you up. You know, and in saying that, we've had Bali's kid. Bali has been president for 3 years now. The only time I've heard about their story is one, seeing them escorting their parents to parliament, inauguration, the sister's wedding. I haven't read or heard of any scandals involving these kids. So I guess in bringing this up, what advice? I know we are all parents. What advice are we giving our kids for their future? We are starting with you, Bakasia, since you showed your absolutely handsome face. And but Lady Sarah already said that the men with Sarah,
What are you saying?
At men with what? A gap in their teeth, Chad.
Men with a gap like you. Look at him. Very handsome. I wish I met you when you were young.
There you go.
I also have a gap.
Your comment on Bali's advice for parents.
This one, I'm going to be very candid and I'm going to be political at the same time.
Oh, here we go.
Yes. You see, this is exactly how a president must speak about matters. He has to give that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Now, right now, we don't know what businesses Bali's kids run. We don't know how they are in.
I can confidently say they are ranchers. They are farmers.
They are farmers and with their own businesses, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, let me tell you what happens in Zambia. Whether Bali has been, for all the years that we've known him to be a businessman and all that, if he lost power today, they'll find a crime for those kids and take them in. Because our system has not been able to fight. They'll find a way. They can sneak in and see if they can do something. And they go and start arresting Bali's kids. And because Bali has immunity, therefore he will not appear in court. And they start harassing those kids for something the father has set up for future. I love that because Bali is an economist. He's a very good businessman. That we shouldn't take away from him. But then, when politics get in that good business economic acumen he has, everything goes ballistic. They will find something to bring his kids in disrepute and even jail them. If we are not very careful how we deal with our country and how we protect the president, what Bali has said is correct. It is only correct because he's president. Now, can we maintain and respect that after he leaves office? Are we going to say, yes, he laid a good foundation for his kids, and therefore the prospect?
In conclusion,
No, this one I told you. I told you that this one, I am with Bali's statement, but I can trust you if we go on the same way they are doing with ECL. The same thing is going to happen to Bali's kids.
Never.
in conclusion,
because you can say I have worked on the government.
Yeah.
I have seen these things repeat themselves.
Okay.
But it is up to you to say no if you so wish. But if your ears listen, I will not argue with you. I will just simply put the way things are. That this is why we need to reform our judicial system and our legal framework, so that we should never come and demonize Bali's kids for the progress they are making right now. But
okay, so
That is
you've said your
on a
you've
serious.
said
That's
you,
a very
You can't be disturbed
that's
to
a
me instead of
valid
making
point,
arguments.
Bakazia. That's a very valid point that you're actually bringing up right now.
okay. So
All right. But we're gonna go with Batufia, and then we go Lady Sarah and
N'abasobola bati mu kyawulo.
Chinta.
okay,
In that order, or
listen,
this order.
listen to this. Listen to this. Vakazia, you're bringing up points. Mulera and I know this. Look, family dynasty starts from when you're young. Okay, and there's no way that we can claim to say that a family of HH or his kids are going to be questioned from now. It's very impossible. Now, let's just go back a little bit. Let's just go back, in fact, from the beginning. Let's go back from the time we have Kaunda. Vakaunda ran this country for 27 years. When was any of his children rounded up to say, this is we got an issue with you in the he was a strict parent. And Kaunda, the way he was a Pan-African. And he led the Pan-Africanism. He would have been one of the richest president at that time. But what did he choose? He chose to liberate other countries. Okay? Because of Kaunda, Zimbabwe, Namibia, South Africa, and all these other countries are independent now because of Kaunda. And how did that happen? Resources coming from our mines were being spread across the entire southern region. Now, no. Allow me to say what I'm saying. Okay, let me conclude my point, or let me, justify what I'm talking about. Because if you're not going to listen, you won't understand. So, Kaunda's children today, ask them. People were laughing to say, in fact, one of your ministers, in fact, even Bomba Lusambo was on the same radio, saying that
I will not take you time to when you say all my ministers. I was not present. I never appointed. No, but don't say my ministers as if I appointed anyone.
No, Bakazia, can you allow me to speak?
Yeah, but don't accuse me things I never did. Did I order
No.
All my ministers, where did you see my ministers?
Am I protected here?
You are protected, Batufia. You are protected.
So why is Bakazia coming in when I'm talking?
Bakazia, please give Batufia time to talk, and let's allow one person to talk at a time, shall we? It's Mr. Tufia's time. Go ahead, Bachan.
So here's the thing. One of the ministers, in fact, Boman Lusambo, was saying, in try to recreate what he was saying, because Kaunda was very strict, very, very strict. Not only with his kids or anybody, was relatives. He wasn't giving money just like anyhow. Okay, that's why I was saying when he died, I think he had very little money in his bank account, and that's what he died, and that's it. He didn't amass a lot of wealth for 27. Imagine this: somebody that was running a country for 27 years with all the knowledge, all the minerals, he knew where all the minerals were. He just died like a simple man, and all his children also just simple, moderate people. They were not going like you were saying, Wakalinda. Castro was going there, doing all those things. I met Castro one time, Panuku. He would come, he just jumps kunani kane kubakulia, asenda kreti, atampo. He was doing so many things, atampo kusunda, you know what I mean? But you never hear children of Wakaunda doing that. You will never hear even Monausa's kids doing that. Okay? So, being followed. No. When did we follow Monausa's kids? There's nothing to follow because Manawasa is strict. When did we follow Kaunda's kids? We don't follow because there was nothing there. Chiluba, he had his own, difficulties. He had his own weaknesses. The only thing that they were doing is Castro was, like more like a nuisance than somebody who was doing something bad. But anyway, that's what it is. Now,
In conclusion,
kuri HH and the family, you will never find that family being questioned in terms of wrongdoings because he laid out a foundation for his kids,
I
which
think you are
every
doing this,
parent,
Micheal.
which I want to kumfa tamfua kumfa.
in
So
conclusion,
he laid the foundation for his children, and his children are going to follow that foundation, and that's what it's going to be from now going forward. Every president that comes, they have to come in a way that, look, this is my family, this is what I'm doing, and this is what it is. And if my family steps out, he said himself, the first person in my family that's going to be corrupt, I'll be the first person to jail them. Even my kids, even my children, if they involve themselves in crimes or corruption, I'll be the first person to what? To jail them.
in conclusion, Rachel.
Conclusion, in the mirror. But Kazia doesn't want to listen to this because it's a bitter truth.
All right.
Swallow the
Thank you.
bitter pill.
He's personalized my
Bakazia,
discussion.
hold your fire.
I need to
Let's
respond to him
allow.
because he has mentioned me, Micheal. You give me
No,
time.
you will. You get your chance at the end. Lady Sarah, it's your turn.
Hallelujah. Today it's a Sunday, and I just want to know because I didn't listen to the president talking about his kids having business. They'll never work for a paycheck. In what context? What led him to say such things?
It was at a graduation ceremony. He was advising the students at Mulungushi University to go the path. They got education. He was proud of them, but then he was telling them, "Don't look, don't look for jobs."
Okay, so yeah, so now I can talk about it now. Now I know the context in which. Okay, fine. When you are blessed and your children, you put them in that way and they're doing fine, just thank God. And it's not everyone who can be an entrepreneur, okay? It's not everyone. And also the children, I heard Chanda Chilufia was like, even you, Bakalinda, like their children, these children, we should just pray. When you have children who are doing every child in you that you have put on earth, they are doing good, just say, God, thank you. Because no parents would want one child to go the other way. You see what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
So there are these parents, like what my HHA was saying there. Make sure that whatever he's talking about, his children, they will never work for, for somebody because they are an entrepreneur. Make sure that they are not touching somewhere. They are not using the presidency, their father's presidency, to do something wrong, because that can happen. That can happen even if they've already been set to do business. That can happen. Make sure they don't do that. And what Bakazia is saying, the only problem I have with Bakazia is comparing what is happening to Esther. I'm thinking like he wants us to stop following Lungu, because it's going to put a president in a precedence with the other government to come. But what I'm trying to say is that what Bakazia is saying is that let's be careful. Oh, I'm choking.
Why are you choking?
Sorry, let me just cough out. Yeah. Okay. So what Bakazia is saying, somehow there is a lot of sense in what he's saying. This following up of this the aftermath. It started with when Mwanawasa followed up with Frederick Chiluba, and he also mentioned something that caught my ears, where he mentioned to say, we've had where people are making allowances on these making follow-ups, pull-ups, and they don't even come to materialize. We've never seen any politician that has been followed up like Vamuvika Mujeo, Haikala Mujeo for a long time. We haven't seen such things. All the time there's appeal or Badek, Tabasangre witness or whatever. Look, there was Honeybee. I don't know what has happened to that Honeybee people, if they are still in jail or something happened with those drugs which were expired. So in short,
They were acquitted, Vasera, and the matter is closed.
can you imagine that? So, like what he's saying is that even if we are in UPND, some things, let's look at it like for the country, not for the party. Okay? It's for the country, for the betterment of our country, not for the betterment of UPND. And you, Vachanda Chilufia, for you to say that it will never happen for these children, the president should not be saying that. Make sure that those children they don't touch the coffers of Zambia. They don't misuse, the channels of gaining money or amassing a lot of wealth
Well,
with what
yes.
they have just because the father said they will
Yes,
never work for somebody. That we
yes,
don't want to see. But if
exactly.
something happens, they'll be followed. Even if the father, if FIMA ngombe, whatever, FIMA hotels, whatever,
No, no,
if
no.
only they are going to do something, they will be followed. That they should
Yeah.
know. So HH, even if he said that at that graduation ceremony, it's not going to shield his children. His children should make sure that they don't misuse the powers because the father is the
Okay.
president.
So, Mone never say that. Just
No. Before you come in, Batifia, let deep thinker come in with his thoughts and
no, no,
yeah. Hey, we have to. Everybody has to speak. Deep thinker, come in with your comment.
I think we've just politicized the issue here, and we've gone on a tangent. I think the question the moderator asked is, what kind of advice are we giving our children? I, I don't know if I misunderstood you, Madam Moderator.
That's exactly my
All right.
question.
So in the context, for me, I might be wrong. He was saying my children are not going to work for a paycheck. We don't know if he's investing for his children. We don't know what he's doing over there. I wish he had said some of the things that he's doing for his children that these graduates could emulate and do as well. But the bottom line is, I think he is asking them to be entrepreneurs so that they own their own businesses
Yeah.
and not rely on a paycheck. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
The only issue I had with the statement is that he added a piece that didn't sit well with me, where he said, "My children are not going to work for a paycheck. They'll leave those jobs for other people who don't have." So I wish he had qualified that to say, for those people that don't have, you can work for a paycheck, but have in mind that you're going to start your own business and become an entrepreneur. That's the only piece I think I'm missing for me. But otherwise, the message was, make sure that you have an entrepreneur's mindset. I yield.
Right, Rakazi.
What I was, you see, I see that probably Vachandana he didn't understand what I was trying to say. I said the advice that the president gave was correct. And I think it was given in all probably honest manner to say, let's look at how we can even be entrepreneurs. I'm giving an example to say, he doesn't want his kids to wait for public service because of the paycheck to paycheck. So he wants them to be businessmen, entrepreneurs, and things like that, probably picking up from him. It's a good thing to think like that. But what I was cautioning myself was, you see, these are the things that we must be able now to find a legal framework that comes to insulate kind of things like what he is planning for the kids, such that if another government comes in, because I've seen this happen, Rupia Bandit happened to his kids, Chiruba, it happened, now it's happening to ECL. There's nothing which can stop a president if he wants to go after the former president in terms of HH and his children and his empire. If he so wishes, manipulating systems, it could happen. I am not saying don't investigate criminality, but certain investigations are a fight in futility. For instance, what Wazir has just raised here. How many? We had a task force on corruption. They covered millions and millions of money. What was the resultant of that investigation? Nothing. The honeybee scandals. What happened? We had the people fired, the people suspended. What has happened? Zero. 65 trucks of drugs. Those what were there. Nothing has happened. No one is jailed for that. Remember the fire tenders that people were talking about. What has happened? Quiet. So some fights are in futility. So you can start it, yes, just for political appeasement, but it doesn't take us anywhere. And more importantly, when you look at the presidents that we have in Zambia, we just need to work on the legal framework so that some of the things and the transparency which should be able to curtail senior government officials dipping their hands in the public coffers are strengthened. Then we can win. Not after a person has come up, then we go after him. It will not work out. That's my point. That's my position. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, my thought was this. The president himself, HH, the first time he came into power, he said it. Okay, it's not just a anniversary or where he went per platform. When he came into power, he said it. He said, "My children will be detached, okay, from the political scene and will be detached from any government position. And if any, when he just got into power, that's what he was saying. People may have forgotten, but this is what he was saying. If any of my children involve themselves in corrupt practices, I'll be the first person to arrest them." That's how strong he was talking about corruption. Okay? That was when he just got into power. He just got into power. Okay? And now what we're saying is this. As leaders, we need to inculcate, our children, our members, family members, and everybody else to say, look, do genuine business. If you're a genuine businessman, there's no problem. Nobody was gonna come and knock on your door. Okay? Because they're doing genuine business. But now, if you're using the power of authority, okay, like the latest heads of states that we have now, that's why I say, look, I started from Kaunda. I said, Kaunda never gave Amanani Kanama business opportunities to his children, and people were what were they doing? They were laughing at him. Even his ministers, if you remember Kaunda UNIP days, most of his members or ministers, they were very, very, very broke by the time they were leaving office. Why? Because he was very strict. Guys, if you don't know this, go read UNIP that time. That's what it was. Right? We come now to MMD. MMD, it was now, it was free for all, and we know what happened. Mwanawasa came in, and Mwanawasa was trying to curb that situation. He said, look, let's do this the right way. Okay? And there's no way right now, is there any investigation with Mwanawasa's got children? Is there any investigation happening around Mwanawasa's children? Why? It's because he taught them the right way and how to do business. He told them, this, look, if it's not yours, it's not yours. Okay? Same thing I'm saying.
Yeah.
HH of Obalandi when he came to power. Same thing I'm saying. He told his children, like, we're not going to involve our children in this business.
In conclusion,
Let's make sure abantu abalesa in the near future, next generation and the next leaders, right? Let the leaders, inculcate a story or inculcate one thing in their family system to say, even if I'm a leader, it doesn't mean that I'll give you a contract. Okay? It
right,
doesn't mean I'll give you a farm. It doesn't
right.
mean I'll give you this. It doesn't mean I'll do this for you. It doesn't mean I'll give you presents on your birthday. I'll give you a 200 vehicles just because I'm a president. No. Right? Just because I'm a president, I'm going to tell you to go and seize a farm and
Yeah.
fence a forest,
In conclusion,
build a wall fence around that. It's yours because I'm the president.
in conclusion, people, we need to. I'm minding time now. It's 4:21. I think we need to wind up in the next 20 minutes.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm
so
done.
let's go ahead and talk about the confusion surrounding the memorial of the late President Micheal Sata's 10th memorial anniversary since his passed. So we had a memorial run, which was actually organized by the government, which the family of Mr. Micheal Sata requested. And then we had a parallel one that caused all kinds of havoc and confusion with the law, organized by the PF faction led by the former president. So the one that was organized by the government at the cathedral, like all state organized functions are usually at cathedral. That's a fact. And then the one by the ECL led faction was at the Catholic church. What is it called? Cathedral of Angels somewhere. Yeah. So anyway, I just don't understand why they couldn't just have one memorial sanctioned by the family. What was the whole idea of having parallel and bringing confusion when you're supposed to be remembering the father of the party and the sixth president of the country? I just don't understand this by PF and Mr. Isiel. What was that about? Let's start with you, Lady Sarah.
Sorry, I went away. I had a call, so I don't know what you're talking about.
We're talking about the two memorials of the late president Micheal Sata. One which was sanctioned by his family, which was organized by the state at Cathedral of the Holy Cross, and then the one led by ECL, which they wanted to hold at the Angels of Cathedral. It's a Catholic, I think, Catholic Angels Cathedral. That's a Catholic church. And that was stopped, of course. Police were called in. There was all kinds of things going on over there, which, I don't think that, you are remembering the father of the party. Why are you having a parallel memorial when the family wanted one organized by the government?
Okay, for me, what I can say is that in the first place, this is very, I don't know. This is a memorial service, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a memorial service, and then the PF also wants to hold their own memorial service. Let me ask you, the 28th of October, and you know that's my birthday? with all those confusions.
Oh,
Oh,
your
happy birthday,
birthday.
happy
Happy
birthday.
belated.
Thank
Oh
you.
man,
Happy
if,
birthday
if if I
to
knew
you.
I would have sent you something nice.
Oh,
You can
Nkamushira
still
amaflowers
send.
Rebisela.
yeah.
Umwe siteni na imwe.
It's not
Ushekwa
good
letia
that
kukhona.
just send her something with everything.
So I want to ask,
There's
the
always a
28th
belated birthday.
October, I
Yeah.
want to ask before I make a comment. The 28th October, was it the day they buried him, or it was just a chosen date for them to like do a memorial service on both parties, the PF and the government?
He died. He died on the 28th of October.
Pardon?
He died on the 28th of October.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
Now,
basically, there are laws, you know. I mean, whether you like Micheal Sata or not, he was the state president. So basically, according to law, from what I've read about it, I could be wrong, but Kazia, of course, will correct me on this. So the state will organize the first anniversary, I think the 5th anniversary, and the 10th. That's it. And then the parties can do whatever they want. So this was his 10th anniversary, and his family asked the government, and the government obliged according to the law. But then here comes the confusion from Nakachinda and ECO Chagwa wanting to have their own memorial on the same day.
Vakalinda, my sister.
Yes.
On this one, I'm not going to side with your UPND. There was no need of the government sending the police to that cathedral. Okay, Vakalinda, put it this way. If PF was at cathedral and the president is also having, with the family, they're having that, what do you think would have happened? Nothing.
Nothing would have happened. The question is, why couldn't they? I mean, they were invited at the cathedral.
Why would you force them to be with you if they don't want to be?
But they were invited at the cathedral.
No. What I'm trying to say is that, you know, we are going towards elections. Even what you do to a group of people also affects your elections. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
People
Well, let me come in real quick here.
Why do you want to come in quick?
Because
let her finish her thoughts. Let her finish her thoughts.
All right, let me finish your thought.
My take on this one is that when you in Zambia, we are Africans, we go with emotions. And if you start playing with the people's emotions, the people will take it like you're not being nice, you're not being good. And we are going towards elections. As for me, what they would have said, even giving them part of the police officers, can you guard those people at the cathedral? If we are also having our own, it's okay. Sometimes it's better to live in harmony, you know? There was nothing wrong.
I mean, why were they being confrontational by Sarah? Why couldn't they
at what point were they confrontational?
Why couldn't they hold their memorial, like say on the 29th or the 20th?
No, he died on that's why I asked you that question. That's why I asked you the question to say, why the 28th October? Was it just a chosen date or that's the day he died?
But also, you also have to understand.
Those are your thoughts, Vakalinda. Those are your thoughts.
Those are my thoughts, but you have to understand.
Vakalinda, why don't you let me finish?
Yeah, I will let you finish, but let's just also...
This is how I feel. This is how I feel about that. There was no need of fighting with the PF. Because we are president party. It's just like if UPND, if HH died and you want to hold your own, like a small group, you want to hold your own. It's okay. Why should you start, fighting? You even send the police. Okay. Sometimes you can win the favor of the people by just, bending a little bit, and you bend and you win the favor of the people. Because, Marimona, there are certainly political people who have won the elections because of people have sympathized with them. So let's be careful. the way we treat these political parties, especially the opposition now, and the way we treat other people, because that's the day that Micheal Sata died, you know. So for me, that was wrong for the government or for the police to go there and stop them. That was very wrong.
Okay.
Why not honor
So
the? Why
can,
not
can I
honor?
come in now?
Yeah, 1 minute. Why not honor the family's wishes? Now, Bachilufia, you can come in. This is a memorial. There's a family. I mean, yes, he was a party president, but there's a family that wanted
But
it.
Rufia, before you even come in, let me answer Bakalinda. Bakalinda, listen, whenever the family was with that side, who PF with the family? Why are you forcing them to honor the family? They are honoring Sata. Why do you want them to honor the family? No. Leave them. The family is with you. So leave them to mourn their president. Why honor the family? Why?
Okay. I think about it, Sarah, you may not have this knowledge or information. If you are sticky, very sad, actually, very, very sad, and very disappointing, you know, because they, barrier for Yavashkulu. All right. So what happened was this: the family contacted government to say, can we host this? And then the government responded and said, we're going to do this. At the same time, party PF was organizing that. And then party PF, they were actually asking money from the family. I don't think you know about this. Okay, to run the whole operation. They say, oh no, yes, we're gonna do this, but we need some money. So banani kane ba family let's go with it, the current government and what they're doing. And then they came up with it, balikwete na meeting. Basa barandata. But they are so ikaba a national thing with the current government and stuff like that. And then on the 2nd of November, the PF will have this memorial stuff because we cannot have coinciding memorial at the same day. So it was agreed. They agreed. They said, panomba UPND the day of when he died, it will be a national thing, and then the PF it will be on the 2nd. And moment. So that's what it was. In fact, if you go Padanka for internet, I'm not just saying go for internet. Can you allow me to talk? So go by internet and find Dr. Kaseva's statement, what she was saying. Okay? The wife to
I heard the video. Are you talking about the audio?
She said it. She said it that we organized this as a family. We wrote to the government, right? And then the PF as a party, we said we're going to do it on a different day. That was the agreement. Okay? Early agreement.
I didn't hear that. I just heard saying
no.
Blah, blah, blah.
That was the agreement. The agreement was if we're going with the government, because they wrote to the government to say this is what we're going to do, and then the government was assuming that we're going to sponsor this, but it's still not sponsoring you.
And it wasn't just like a sponsorship. It was even at that point, at that particular event, but Micheal Sata was honored by the government. They gave him a special award recognition for his contribution to Zambia's independence.
Mama.
So what when ECL and everybody else were doing, they were antagonizing.
Mm.
That's what they were doing.
Yeah. So whenever in fact they want to come and start fighting the government. Same
It's
day,
not,
yeah. Now
no,
when
Didn't hear my talk. What I'm saying is the government would have just played it low than sending the police. If anything, the government would have picked even a bunch of police officers to go and guard those people that could than fighting this, this group. This is what I'm trying to say.
but before that, do you know why? Before that, their leader, you know what their leader was talking about? Before that, he was on TV. Before that, their leader.
Bachanda, you see,
Let
let me say something here. You see, you are the worst enemies of UPND. Because when your friends are trying to tell you to say money, even as much as we don't like them, but you need the wabo. And you see, for 3 years that this memorial have been organized, government has not been there. Government has not been there. 3 years that after the election 2021, there was a memorial service. The government was not there. 2022, 2023. So there's a pattern of history of where we are coming from in relation to this memorial. If government had taken initiative, first, lead this memorial, these things wouldn't have happened. Now, people come and say, you need president, you need leader. It's like the way UPND does for Anderson Mazel. You cannot come and tell them to say, no, we are government because you're a very senior political leader, therefore to allow Ingira. You can't do things like that. Now, H died today. The UPND chooses to say to Araya, QSDA, where he was congregating, to have a meet. You can't go and say, go and surround them, including whatever who have nothing to do with politics. That is what the legislator is telling you. Okay, but these are the things that create problems for you. It's not about the PFO, but the PFO. Bakaseva had no say because he is supposed to follow the state proceedings. When the state proceedings say, okay, if they said child Jesus should have been there, if they had said 10-12 SDA, he should have been there. But you see, there is political tension between UPND and PF. You can't put them in one space without and without, because other people thrive on that confusion which UPND and PF might should have. Other people, there should never be peace between UPND and PF. Some people have invested their time and money in that confusion. So when that confusion, okay, how do you explain? The Bishop Malik Banda goes there. It doesn't work that way, but that was a blunder. It should never be repeated. People must respect it. But PF let them do it. Don't force yourselves on them. It is not right. If President ECA wanted to say, he has a right to say what he wants to say.
And also, let's remember that the family also have a right. So
yes,
if they requested the government, and even Mulenga Sata, the son, spoke at that gathering, advising Bakateka, as you call him, to respect his father. So anyway, let's bring in Dipping has been too quiet. I can't wait to hear what you're going to say on this. Your comment.
Okay. Let's remember that a Republican president is always sponsored by a party in the Zambian setting. Let's not forget that. The government can have a memorial and the party can have a memorial. These two should not be bunched together. So I do agree with Vasera. The government should, unless there is some intelligence that I'm not aware of, but otherwise there was nothing wrong with to me, there was nothing wrong with the PF having their own memorial. What I have issue with like we talked about 3 weeks ago, I think. What I have issue with is that the UPND's people and the PF people should have this was a perfect opportunity to bring these people together in the African setting. These are the occasions when people come together and resolve their issues. So there should have been some preliminary meetings leading to this moment to bring these people together, or if they don't bring them together, to at least say, let's honor this man who ran the country, whether we agreed with the way he ran the country or we don't agree with the way he ran the country, but let's honor this man for his contributions to our contribution to our motherland, Zambia. This was the opportunity, especially that we are running towards elections. This
Yes.
was the opportunity to bring about humanity.
Yes.
This
That's what we're
was the
talking about.
opportunity.
Mhm.
So the divide between the president of the UPND and the country and the president and Dr. Lungu, we were supposed to bring them together, or they were supposed to come together and say, let's leave our differences, because Zambia is bigger than what I feel about you and how you feel about me. This is bigger than that. Let's unite. Now, because you brought up a point to say the UPND have not been there all along. But if I understood what Bakalinda said, the memorials are 1st, 5th, and 10th years. If I heard her right.
That's what the Constitution says. Yes.
If I heard her right.
Yes.
So we politicizing something that it should not have been, that it should have brought us together and leave our political differences aside. Because if the president was to die today, we'll forget about the politics. We're mourning a Zambian who led the country. Same thing should happen to Sata, President Sata. Same thing to President Chiruba. Same thing to Kaunda. Same thing to RB. Same thing to Dr. Lungu. We are politicizing something that should have brought us together in the spirit of Ubuntu. We could have, Dr. Lungu, if the environment was set up right, he would have attended the government-sponsored memorial, and then go and have the PF-sponsored memorial. If the UPND wanted to have a UPND-sponsored memorial later on, they would have that. But this particular one should have brought us together. I yield.
Yes, and it's good that you've mentioned that. I can tell you one thing. There's only one big problem, and the biggest problem that we have is Lungu. He does not want to yield, like you say. Okay, when you are a leader, all right, he doesn't want to yield. When you're a leader, you should know that there are people that have more authority than you. He doesn't want to yield.
That is not true.
And here's the thing. Lungu is the most dangerous person when it comes to the democracy of this country.
Now,
here's my reasons. Here's my reasons. If I was Lungu, I would have said, look, let me go and because he was invited, really. He was really invited. He was given all the invitation and everything, but he decided to abscond. Okay.
So what is the issue there, Bachanda? I'm confused. We can't force a grown man to attend something he doesn't want to attend.
Exactly. So you cannot
So,
teach an old horse new tricks.
so listen,
Bachanda Chilufia, listen.
In conclusion, we need to
You need to listen. What we are trying to say is that, you know, two wrongs never make a right. You know, Lungu alefo kukwata kula cathedral, and you know, like a deep thinker has said, that you cannot force somebody order to go and join what he doesn't want. This is why a deep thinker is saying this is the time that we're going to bring, you know, that peace. Imagine Lungu bamusuminisha mu cathedral bamutwala na bakapogola to guard that, because they don't want the police is there to watch. Do you think what you know, environment? How was Lungu going to think of UPND?
Two wrongs cannot make a right.
No,
That's what I'm telling you. Two wrongs will not make a right.
Even if a PF for cathedral, they wouldn't have said the words that they've said now. Even the people, do you know what politics, the way the politics are, the grassroots? Do you know they are sympathizing with the PF Cathedral because the police went there to talk to that father at the Memorial? That is the grassroots which votes. You and me, we are not going to vote. We are not in Zambia. And
I am going to vote myself.
Listen, Mr. Kalinda. The most people who vote, me have been in Zambia, they are up to 2016. I even stood on UPND as a councillor in Kanini ward there. The people that vote, they don't drive, most of them. They don't even have good jobs. People who have good jobs are behind the TV. Behind the TV. The poor lady, the poor woman, the poor father, they are the ones who are voting. And these are the people who don't think the way you think in Canada. They don't think the way you are thinking. They are busy sympathizing with that which happened at the cathedral. Let's be careful. And we are going towards the 2026 votes. And you see the way the country is. You understand what I'm saying? And then you start bringing confusion of going in Wakapokola because they start sympathizing, and those are the voters that you have. Let's be careful the way we are handling issues.
I think I get what you're saying, Valid Sarah. I think for me, I'm having a difficult time understanding that faction of the PF because one, we had two factions at the PF at the cathedral that was organized by the state as requested by Micheal Sata's family. The only faction that had issues with that assembly was the only one by ECL. Mao Sampa was at the cathedral with Micheal Sata's family. The Chavinga faction was at the cathedral. So what makes this other faction so special? Just because of one man? And so we should all be drinking the Kool-Aid of one man? If there were discussions before and both of them agreed, okay, this government family-sponsored cathedral memorial will be held on the 28th, and they agreed for theirs to be on the 2nd of November. What changed before that day came in?
Then the government would have gone for November. Yeah. Why didn't they do that if they thought it was a problem? The government would have gone for November.
No. Vasera, here's the thing. If the family has said, the family wrote to the government, right?
But it's only now, but Kalinda that family okay.
Yes, the family was that. And that's because
my family, bali rembera inkalata ku government kulandati. Turefwaya memorial ikapade, and then the government was to respond. No problem. Okay. At the same token, the PF Valelanda na family.
A correction, actually. It's the ECL-led faction because the other two sided with the government. So let's
Who
be
knows
clear.
what it is? So
Madam
at the same time, they were talking.
Chair,
They were talking to the family side. They said, "No, no, look, let's hold this thing." And then they were, even if you listen to her voice, she was saying, "Vale, why to pick up in the lamba?" They were asking for money. Okay, they were asking for money. They were asking for money to run that operation or to run that memorial. But the government said, "Look,
Vakazia, you're protected. Just
You
wait,
see,
please.
you see, Baba Deep Thinker. That's where the problem is. You can't force. Do not attempt to force yourself and impose your will on the PF. It doesn't work like that. And this is the simple that everyone is talking about. You cannot force your will. The question that you have, which you are all dancing around, Sarah asked one question. Why did you send the police to go and stand the cathedral of the child Jesus?
But
What was the intention?
Vakazia,
Mukwai.
Vakazia.
Mukwai.
May I jump in with the blessings of the chair?
Yes, go ahead.
Sometimes we need to be thankful about some things, because there are some times when it's a blessing when people are not included, because we don't know what they're thinking, what is hurting them. We don't want them to come to a government blessed memorial and cause confusion as we honor this great man. So probably it was a blessing in disguise that the PF faction that does not agree with some things to go and do their own, other than coming over there and there's a confusion and there's loss of life. So the government did their part. You are welcome. You are invited. Not that you're welcome. No, you are invited to come to this. And then they chose not to come. So we can't really put it on the government because they invited. So if you are going to do your own thing, go on and do your own thing as long as it's peaceful. Now, unless there is some intelligence that I'm not privileged to, that we don't know, then let them do their own thing. Now, the police involvement, I don't know why the police were there. Were they there to protect the environment so that they have their own peaceful memorial, or were they there to cause
But you
confusion?
think that the police was sent there to disperse them?
yes, because the leader was talking about insurgents.
What
You
is
look at the
Do
day
you have
before.
that intelligence,
The day
Vachanda?
before.
Let me come in. You see, these are the things of creation of delusional things that don't exist.
Do you have that intelligence, Vachanda? Do you have that intelligence that it was insurgents?
Yes.
Where is it?
Where is it?
Here's what I'm going to tell you. Information was reached because if you look at the week before that, in that week,
Now,
what do you call it? By ECO was on TV talking about all these things.
no.
You know, he went to the media platform. Okay.
He never
And
spoke about
he
the
started
sentence.
talking about so many things.
He did not speak about
Right?
the
And here's the thing.
Stop manufacturing things.
No, we're not manufacturing, but it's the fact. It's in
He never
public
said what
domain.
he wants to say.
It's in public domain. Didn't Lungu go on the Mwamba platform?
About
Did he go there?
he can play that a million times.
Didn't he say that the government wants to kill me?
So that is
Didn't he say that?
That is insurgent.
Vachanda.
Well, then, let's
Vakazia.
more.
Bakazia,
one
just
person.
wait,
Yes,
wait.
yes,
Let
here's the
me let
ruling.
me let me
Here's the
get it
ruling.
straight because
We
I'm
are
confused
going.
here.
The government wants to put a bullet in my head. That's what you were saying.
So, so do you think by sending police officers to their memorial
It can
was
stop
a
the
good thing,
bullets.
given that he said the police wanted to put a bullet in his face?
No, no. It's like, look, here's what it is. If we know the
Gentlemen,
history of our PF,
gentlemen,
if we know the history of our PF,
gentlemen,
these guys are talent individuals.
Vachanda.
gentlemen
Just
and
agree
ladies.
that it was a flop on behalf of the government. They didn't do a good job. That's all. They made a
Okay, gentlemen,
Mwapile.
gentlemen and ladies, sir. I think we're going in circles here.
My
Let's
1 minute contribution is there.
no. We're not giving
Because
anybody immediacy. Let's just agree to disagree. Let's
chair,
move on.
but chair,
It's 4:55. We have 5 minutes to wind up this live
but
program
chair, but you should
broadcast.
not be allowed to
We,
manufacture things that don't exist.
okay. We are
Me,
done.
what did I
We are
manufacture?
going to agree to disagree. We can come back next week. We have 5 minutes to wind up.
Point out what I manufacture. What did I
Yeah,
manufacture?
yeah. So anyway, we have come to the topic. We are not even going to talk about Study Mwale's audio where it's blasting Kambwili.
Yeah.
Rant.
We are not going to talk about that.
We go to the rant.
Let's go to the rant. Yes, Chilufia, you have the floor. Bakazia, I'm sorry, Bakazia, you have the floor.
I have the floor of my rant.
Yes.
My rant. What was that dance?
Yeah.
UPND. How can you behave like that?
Yeah.
You people that are here, deep thinker, Vakarinda, Valensera, is that the new way of dancing in UPND?
Yeah.
Pavana, imwe va UPND. That was very embarrassing to the point that I can't even show that video to my own kid. It's embarrassing. Why did you embarrass us like that? Who are imwe va UPND? You should never do that. Those people need to face the law in a way. That is the indecency of how it order. How can you just say that? I deserve answers from you, one of you that are here.
No, that's a rant,
Especially in specific on that dance. I want to hear what you have to say.
Madam Moderator.
No comment.
Are we supposed to comment on rants or we leave it alone?
You will comment on this one because I got a question.
Let's leave it.
I want to hear you.
I have no comment on the dance.
Me, I've got a comment.
Go ahead, 30 seconds.
Is that a rant though, or is it reacting to the Bakazia's rant?
It's a reaction.
Are we allowed to do that?
You know, on the rant,
No, I mean, the way he posed it, he wants us to answer. It's more like a question.
Yeah,
right?
we have not 10 seconds.
Now, listen to this. I think Muzozo is an artist, isn't it? Is a musician.
Yes.
And me, according to myself, what I know is a musician will do what musicians do. Okay? They'll create some certain scenes just to create certain things and try to create a sort of like a following. Okay? So forget about what he did. He's a musician at heart. One. It doesn't mean whatever he's doing as a musician, then he's representing the UPND as a party. No. He can do whatever he wants. If tomorrow,
20 seconds, but it's done.
yeah, if tomorrow he wants to go and kiss that's his own thing.
We are done.
May I respond, Madam Moderator?
10 seconds, deep think.
That is artistic expression gone too far, and it should not be exposed to our children. Bakazia, I've answered your question.
Deep thinker, I can clap now. I can clap.
Yeah. Let's Sarah, please bring in your rant. What's your rant for today?
My rant for today is the same as for Wakazia. There is no way a human being who are a normal and artist to go and dance like that. You don't dance like that. You can't. You, Bachanda Chilufia, the way you are saying that is an artist, blah, 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 an artist. So, full artist, it's okay. No, we are not going. No. Don't answer. We are not going to allow such dances in public like that. Please. We don't want that. That man should never repeat that dance. UPND. That dance is done privately. And that's useless. Who dances like that?
We support Yawachanda.
I'm very, very disappointed with that kind of dance in public. We don't dance like that. Even which is traditional, they don't dance like that. You can't dance like that in public just because you are an artist. If you felt something, you would have just run away to the bathroom and dance like that.
I was just trying to look at it at a different angle. Where everybody's looking at it that way.
There's no angle.
Devil's advocate. I was just trying to be a devil's advocate.
Let's put a lead on this. It's 5:01. We've been at it for 3 hours. What's your rant?
Madam Moderator, may I come in?
Are you coming in for your rant?
No. Protecting Sarah.
Sarah is protected. She knows it. Sarah is protected.
No, but Lady Sarah was reacting to Kazia's comment. So I need to hear her rant.
She said that was her rant.
Was that your rant, Lady Sarah?
Yes, it was my rant. Immediately I saw it before we even started the meeting. But I'm going to talk about this dance.
Thank you.
All right, what's your rant for the day?
Okay, my rant for this week. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I was just trying to be a devil's advocate, but on a serious note, like any rant and this week is we are now embroiled in a very, very situation where abnormal track that's coming in the country. So we're now looked at as one of the largest mining countries in Africa. So Abantu, they're giving us respect. If you talk about Abantu from Namibia, from Botswana, everybody's saying, oh, wow. Why is this all this big investment?
What is in there?
That's a very good question. So all these it is becoming Yafma kuna Namibia, Yafma Botswana, ma countries are upsana. And then ama countries here, yatampo kuipusha. The same question you're asking. Moment. Same question you're asking.
What's
going to happen is because what they've done is they've situated ama companies with like the largest mining companies their own energy sources, right? So from now going forward, you have your own mining license and your own energy license, whereby mwatampo kupangana makopa shani biashara because they want to reach about 3 million or 5 million tons. So how is that going to happen? We don't have to depend on ZESCO. We don't have to depend on ZESCO.
Oh my word.
So what is in there? You're not answering what's in there. You're explaining Shan, but what is in that? It's my big thing.
Okay. So Monen, so like a coal mine, let me give you an example. A coal mine of Yabani. Yariamana and Kanama, when you start producing coffee, Inafaa ikatira energy ya mwaista mwaikata, and then you put it in a certain system and then regenerate it into energy. Okay, it's not going in the system air or anything like that. So a lot of energy, a lot of
You don't know
energy.
what is in that big thing. You are just explaining
Ni
what
oxygen, ni oxygen, ni
But
oxygen,
Sarah, it's called
ni
it's
oxygen.
a mining gas
No
cylinder.
oxygen.
It's
Eh,
a mining gas. They're calling it's a gas cylinder.
mama.
No, okay.
So
Yeah.
ofo ikala bomba. Mtembe
Well,
ofo ikala bomba.
Sanaya, thank you so much. You made my day. Vakazia, at least I saw your gap.
Yeah, Gutata.
My sister Kalinda, very nice. But you guys, you make my day. Thank you so much.
So you just gonna
Everyone,
leave before my rant, guys.
Chanda,
No,
today I'm on
but Sarah,
myself.
you're going to leave before his rant. We
You
are
gonna
going
leave
to leave
before my
before.
rant, but Lady Sarah, I'm disappointed now.
Why?
I feel discriminated
Okay, what?
because I'm a Tonga. I feel discriminated.
You are my boo. I'm coming. Where are you? Give me the address.
Yeah, Gutata. What's your rant? This is not. We are not creating marriages here. What's your rant, Deep Think?
But Lady Sarah and myself, we are Zambians. We look at Zambia. If things are wrong, we point it out. If things are right, we point them out, and that's what I appreciate. We only have one Zambia. Now we need to identify and point it out that memorial service for Vasata was done in a very bad manner. The government did very well to invite people to that memorial service, but the reaction towards that faction of the PF and what they wanted to do to commemorate Vasata's death, it's not sitting in very well with me. Preliminary arrangements should be made by elders, chiefs, and everybody to bring these two people together, because we only have one Zambia. We can't afford to lose Zambia. We can't afford to have a divided Zambia. We need people, we need the elders to take their place and look at what the issues are between these two people that have sat in that highest office in our motherland, the only country that we have, the peaceful Zambia that we know. I am really, really concerned that we're going into 2026 with the divided people that have led that country, and the common people are the ones that are going to suffer. And I don't want to see the blood of another Zambian as we get into 2026. Head of UPND and head of PF, Dr. Lungu and Dr. Hakainde, please make sure that you iron out whatever differences that you have, so that Zambians don't lose their lives.
Great. Thank you. As for my rant this week, I'm going to read this comment from our viewers. It says from Jessica Halliwell. She says HH is well matured, president proud to be my president, and knows how to avoid problems. For example, the wife doesn't involve herself in politics as well. The only time you see the wife is just by escorting the husband. That's it. Emmanuel Howard says in Zambia the law was not working. Now it's time the law is now it's time the law is being up. Now this time I think that's what he meant. The law is being applied. A crime will always be a crime, and the president puts it clear that when you commit a crime, you are on your own. We should not allow or support lawlessness in Zambia. Bowman was boasting on the TV, even saying the perfume for my wife can pay rentals. He also said, when you steal for the future. And today he's arrested. Some people are blaming the president. Those are my two comments from our viewers. This one that I just read comes from Emmanuel Howard Mujindu. This one is from Jessica Halliwell. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a great 3-hour marathon of discussing various topics. So we at this juncture, this is where we say, oh, by the way, I might on Tuesday night, I might stay up, I might do a podcast just to focus on the election results. I voted for Mutinta myself this past Sunday. That's why I didn't show up for the podcast. So anyway, so it's Tuesday election night. We look at the elections in America.
What time?
I think we should start at maybe 9-10 o'clock when the results starts coming in.
Okay, you can post on the group the time.
Yes, I will.
No, I'll be in a very important meeting, but if the time is different, I can join you.
Oh, great! Yeah, so I'll keep you all posted. Until next week.
Deep Thinker, can I have your number, please? I'm asking.
Keep the faith.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.